This video continues with page 60. Naruto, the bonds of Team 7. Page 60. If it's not something very important, the consequences will be very serious. Imperial Abido looked unfriendly. It's really scary. Runtukan Orochimaru licked his lips with a hint of surprise in his eyes. Is he not even afraid of him, a great Sannin? Is this Uchiha really stupid? Or is he strong enough to be conceited? Orochimaru had previously boasted that he would kill Uchiha Itachi. He could have considered this because Uchiha Itachi's reputation was not that famous, and it was difficult for people who had not fought him to know how powerful he was. But Orochimaru's reputation is totally incomparable to Uchiha Itachi's. The other party is not afraid at all. There is something wrong. I heard that you want to steal my prey? Another indifferent voice sounded in the woods. Let the Empire Abido's eyes roll slightly, looking at the other person in white clothes, bare chest, and handsome face. The Imperial Abido's expression changed slightly. Sasuke? Orochimaru actually knows Sasuke-kun? Then there is no need for me to introduce you to each other, Orochimaru said with a smile. It seems that you have seen my wanted poster? Uchiha Sasuke said indifferently. Imperial Abido did not respond immediately, but looked at Orochimaru and Sasuke in front of him, and suddenly something in his heart moved. It was annoying that the guy who came wasn't Itachi, but the two people in front of him are not ordinary people either. Orochimaru seems to be a great scientist in this world. Needless to say, as for Sasuke, with his aptitude for martial arts training and taking specialized potions, he could immediately become a powerful and available combat force. If we can subdue them, it will definitely bring a lot of benefits for the current situation. Perhaps His Majesty will be able to show leniency to my crime in the future, although I am not afraid of death. But I will eventually return to my roots, back to my own world. In that hell, Lin will not exist. Chapter 69, Abido and Sasuke's first fight. Think of all the above. The Empire Abido couldn't help but said, the prey you just pointed out was that bastard Uchiha Itachi. Of course. That guy is my prey. I won't allow any random guy to take him away, Sasuke said. Oh, if I must take it away? What are you going to do? Imperial Abido said, still sizing up this world's Sasuke. He is as handsome as Sasuke in his own world, but he is only 1.7 meters tall and looks very thin. But this momentum, this expression, it's indeed the same person in different worlds doing what? Sasuke whispered, and slowly drew out the Kusanagi sword from his waist with his right hand and pointed it at Imperial Abido. Then I will just let you know how powerful I am, so that you won't be able to retreat. I do want to know how powerful you are now. Imperial Abido nodded slightly. You'll see it soon enough, Sasuke replied. Do you need my help? Sasuke-kun. This Rentu-kun looks like he's not someone you can mess with. Orochimaru smiled. No, you step back. Sasuke used a commanding tone. Hehehe, I will look forward to the duel between the two Uchiha. Orochimaru licked his lips, but was not angry. He leaped back and landed on a tree trunk in the distance, ready to watch the show. Don't need help? You're quite confident, Imperial Abido said. I should be the one saying this to you, Sasuke said the moment his voice fell. He instantly appeared in front of Abido of the Empire and stabbed forward with the Kusanagi sword. With almost no resistance, the Kusanagi sword pierced through the body of Imperial Abido. What? This is the Uchiha survivor? The guy who dared to speak harshly to Uchiha Itachi? Is this the only strength he has? The passerby who had just tricked Abido from the Empire said with some disdain. Orochimaru, who was sitting on a tree in the distance, had a look of surprise in his eyes. Sasuke, holding the Kusanagi sword, had his eyes flickering slightly, then he suddenly jumped back, created some distance, and looked around. Passers-by looked confused when they saw this scene. What's going on? Why did Sasuke suddenly retreat? And why was that guy not injured after being stabbed? What happened? He couldn't understand. Hush. Be quiet. Orochimaru's voice rang in the ears of the passerby, causing him to quickly shut his mouth, but the confusion in his eyes grew more serious. What? I was right in front of you? Why did you step back? Imperial Abido asked, tilting his head. Sasuke ignored Abido's question and continued to look around. Ignore me. Then I will attack you without hesitation, Imperial Abido said as he rushed towards Sasuke, who still had no reaction. Even when Abido's fist was aimed at his stomach, he still did not dodge or avoid it, until the fist landed directly on his stomach pen. What? Sasuke screamed and was blasted away more than 10 meters. In midair, he spun to stabilize his body and then slid several meters. Then he looked at the Empire Abido with disbelief. How did you do it? Even Orochimaru on the side opened his mouth in surprise. An illusory body instantly becomes real. What kind of ability is this? How did you do that? Do you think I'll tell you now, my rival? Imperial Abido smiled and flew towards Sasuke again. 3 Magatama appeared in Sasuke's eyes. Facing the Imperial Abido, he did not attack but began to dodge and defend with all his strength. For a while, he was forced to retreat continuously and looked extremely embarrassed. But fortunately, he can still hold on now. A minute passed. When Imperial Abido attacked again, Sasuke did not dodge, but instead turned his hand and stabbed Imperial Abido at the same time. Imperial Abido's entire figure passed through Sasuke's body. He turned slowly and said, "Did you see that? This is quite good. At least he is much stronger than Uzumaki Naruto when we first met." There was a hint of appreciation in his voice. Sobbed. What happened? Did you see it? What did you see? The passerby was even more confused. Orochimaru licked his lips, as expected of Sasuke-kun. You saw through the other party's ability so quickly. However, this guy named Uchiha Runtu gives me a very strange feeling. He seems not serious at all, but just playing with Sasuke-kun. You are so confident and arrogant. Let me take a good look at what kind of power you have. It's a very interesting ability. It can transform freely between fantasy and reality. Sasuke looked at the Empire expressionlessly. Abido praised him and then said, Naruto, is that guy still as weak as before? I can see that you care about him a lot. Is this the bond between Indra and Ashura? But Naruto is not weak now. If you don't have the Mangekyo, you might not be able to defeat him. Imperial Abido laughed kaleidoscope. When they heard this word, both Sasuke and Orochimaru's pupils contracted. There was shock and fear on his face. This guy knows kaleidoscopes. You, an Uchiha who lives in the wilds of the forests and mountains, actually know about the Mangekyo. Could it be that you have such eyes? Sasuke looked a little fearful. Ah, of course. Imperial Abido nodded, and the next moment, Sasuke and Orochimaru saw that the eyes of the Imperial Abido moved, and the 3 Magatama slowly connected together to form a strange pattern. Really the same Mangekyo as Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Runtu. This guy seems to be a genius who is no less talented than Itachi. This will make it difficult for my body to be in trouble. Orochimaru's chest and abdomen heaved, his eyes full of fear and unwillingness. It's really a Mangekyo, just like that Itachi guy. Sasuke whispered. This kind of eyes can only be opened by killing a loved one. What did you do for these eyes? Sasuke's expression became slightly agitated and disgusted at the end. Kill your loved ones? Who told you that? Sasuke's question made Imperial Abido stunned. What? You dare to do it but not to admit it? Sasuke asked again. The Mangekyo Sharingan is a powerful eye that can only be opened when an Uchiha's spirit is greatly stimulated. In ancient books, they are usually opened after the death of a close relative. Imperial Abido said slowly. Sasuke was stunned when he heard this. Don't need to kill it yourself. Of course. Do you know someone who opened the Mangekyo by doing this? Wait, that bastard Uchiha Itachi, didn't he think that this was the only way to open the Mangekyo and then go and exterminate the clan? Imperial Abido said this with a strange look on his face. Page 61. He told me that he killed his loved ones with his own hands, Sasuke said. That stupid bastard. Imperial Abido frowned. The essence of the Mangekyo Sharingan is stimulation. He actually did something like that. He is so stupid and ignorant. Obviously, if the operation was done properly, it would have succeeded even without the death of loved ones, but when it came to you, it turned out like this. How sad. This is the era of ignorance, backwardness, and ninja villages. Imperial Abido couldn't help but sigh. Chapter 70. King Tianju's confidence in persuading surrender. Sasuke didn't understand some of the words, but the fact that if done properly he could open his eyes without the death of his loved ones made him a little excited. But he did not ask. Instead, he continued, "Let's stop chatting for now. Let me see what power the so-called Mangekyo Sharingan has that is worth Itachi doing something like that to get it. Want to see the power of the kaleidoscope? That's not impossible. But my Mangekyo is not comparable to Uchiha Itachi and other Uchiha in this world. Let me show you a little bit of the power of the Mangekyo that combines the power of the Uchiha and the Empire. Power armor, Susanoo." Imperial Abido's eyes spun rapidly. Light blue chakra burst out, and at the same time it became physical. It turned into armor, covering its entire body. A pair of wings slowly extended from its back. At this moment, Imperial Abido became as majestic as a samurai wearing energy armor. The height also increased from about 1.85 meters to just over 2 meters. Is this the power of the kaleidoscope? It doesn't look that great. Sasuke looked calm. Is it? Imperial Abido stretched out his right hand and a rotating vortex appeared. He inserted his right hand into it and then slowly pulled out a strange spiral conical sword. "What kind of sword is this?" Sasuke asked in surprise. This spiritual sword was developed by the Divine Weapon Development Department and is specially developed to match the power of Susanoo. His Majesty personally named it the Sword of Separation. "I got this before I came here," Imperial Abido said with a twinkle in his eyes. When saying the word take, the voice is a little weaker. However, Orochimaru and Sasuke were not interested in this. They were more concerned about the two words Your Majesty and Divine Weapon Development Department. This Uchiha who is living outside seems to be far from being as simple as he seems. There may be a very powerful force behind him. Really? Then let me see, is your sword of resistance stronger, or my sword of Kusanagi stronger? Sasuke's words had just fallen. The wings behind the small and powerful Susanoo worn by Abido of the Empire shook, and a violent sonic boom cloud exploded on the spot. His figure appeared in front of Sasuke in the blink of an eye, and then there was a loud sound of breaking through the air, and the sword of separation swept across. So fast. Much faster than before. Is it because I didn't use my full strength before? Or is it because of this set of armor? Orochimaru and Sasuke thought at the same time. Sasuke quickly raised his sword to block. Then, the moment the two swords collided, Sasuke was blown away like a cannonball by the unmatched force. Thug. Wow. This guy's strength is simply not human. We can't continue like this. As Sasuke flew backwards, he felt the cracked tiger's mouth and immediately activated his own curse seal. An ugly black mark spread, and a pair of huge flesh wings extended from his back. All functions of his body are greatly improved. Because of this, he landed safely after crashing into several large trees. The figure of Imperial Abido flew across the ground again and appeared in front of him. Damn, it's really fast. But don't think you can defeat me like this. Chidori's sharp spear. Sasuke thrust with the sword. The flashing lightning, with the tip of the Kusanagi sword as its point, surged and pierced towards the Imperial Abido. However, the moment the stab hit the Imperial Abido, it was blocked by the energy armor on his body. It could no longer penetrate even an inch. It's useless. In front of the power armor Susanoo, ordinary ninjutsu has no way to break through the defense. Imperial Abido said calmly. Appears exceptionally calm. He seemed to be deliberately teasing Sasuke. He did not attack at this time, but just withstood the lightning of Chidori's sharp spear, causing Sasuke's body to slide backwards continuously. 2 long ditches even appeared on the ground, until it slid out 60 or 70 meters. Accompanied by a sound of peng, Sasuke's figure disappeared. Abido of the Empire paused in his charge, slowly turned around and glanced around. He saw Sasuke standing on a tree trunk 100 meters away with a serious expression on his face. He didn't even give Abido time to speak. Sasuke quickly formed a hand seal, opened his mouth and spit, and a huge flaming dragon head spewed out of his mouth. At this distance, using this ninjutsu, do you think you can hit me? But with Susanoo on me, there is no need for me to dodge. Imperial Abido looked mocking. Standing there calmly, let the great fire dragon submerge his entire figure. Large areas of land and trees were burned. After the great fire dragon, the unharmed figure of Imperial Abido was revealed. It's just as he said. Ordinary ninjutsu can't break that energy armor. So this is the only way. Sasuke's eyes flickered, and he began to form hand seals again, spitting out fire-based ninjutsu. But this time his target was no longer Imperial Abido, but the sky boom. Boom! Boom! The clouds that broke through the sky one after another caused the air currents to surge violently. Seeing this, Abido was a little surprised, but he immediately reacted. You want to use the ninjutsu to penetrate my Susanoo? Then let me show you the difference in the most fundamental power between the Empire and the ninja village. That's coming, Sasuke-kun's ultimate ninjutsu. Even with the power of the kaleidoscope, I'm afraid it won't be able to resist it. Orochimaru licked his lips in anticipation. Because the Empire of Abido stands still, Sasuke quickly used fire ninjutsu to change the weather around him. After a while, dark clouds covered the sky, and rumbling sounds were heard, accompanied by streaks of lightning that began to move. Sasuke looked up at the sky with a proud and confident look on his face, and he formed seals with his hands. The rumbling war became more intense, and the thunder in the sky was controlled, turning into a terrifying giant unicorn head, overlooking all living things. Uchiha Runtu, you are very powerful. But facing my Kilin, you have no chance of winning. It will fall in 1,000th of a second, and you won't even have time to disappear before it turns into nothingness. Surrender. As a member of the Uchiha clan, I can spare your life, but Itachi is my prey. It's finally out. Kilin. Even if it's not the first time you see it, you'll be shocked. This is the ultimate ninjutsu of lightning release developed by Sasuke-kun. Even if I faced it, it would be difficult to survive if I didn't avoid it in advance. It's really beautiful. Orochimaru looked up at the thunder Kirin in the sky and exclaimed in admiration. The passers-by not far away also looked shocked. Amazing, has Uchiha Sasuke's strength grown to this point? This must be Lord Orochimaru's work. As long as I continue to follow Lord Orochimaru, I will be able to have such strength sooner or later. The passerby thought about it and looked at Orochimaru with some fanaticism. Yesterday I asked for a wave of follow-up reading, and I didn't expect that several brothers gave me rewards, and many brothers also gave me a large number of monthly tickets. Thank you all for your support. Now I have done what I should do. I just have to wait a few days and see if I can make it to Sanjiang, haha. 71. Chapter 71. Sasuke, can I join you? 71. You were hiding here and there like a little mouse before, but now you've become so confident and proud after completing a ninjutsu with my help. Lightning release, Kirin? It was nothing in front of the power of the Empire and the sword of separation. Come on, show your true strength and attitude. Sword of separation. Imperial Abido raised the strange sword in his hand and pointed it at the sky. Clack, clack. The strange sword made a few unusual noises, and as it became even bigger, the sword body actually began to rotate slowly, and then a storm began to blow around it. Arrogant guy. Since you want to die, Then go ahead and die. Sasuke's eyes turned fierce and he waved his right hand. The thunder Kirin in the sky roared, turned into a ray of light, and swooped down. Heaven and earth are separated. The star of creation. Imperial Abido growled. The storm around the Gwali sword suddenly increased dozens of times. Orochimaru, who didn't wipe it off in time, and the man with a passerby face were blown away in an instant. Big trees sprouted from the ground, and several layers of the soil were scraped off. The violent storm also merged into one in an instant, turning into a tornado and blasting towards the thunder Kirin in the sky. Boom! Exclamation, exclamation when the thunder Kirin collides with the storm. There was no stalemate. In just a moment, the thunder Kirin was completely crushed. The sky and the earth changed color at this moment. Countless tiny bolts of lightning shot out in all directions. Page 62. The storm then rushed straight into the sky. Impossible! Sasuke cried out in surprise, and was blown away 100 or 200 meters by the aftermath of the bombardment from the two before he stopped flying backwards by leaning against a big tree. He gasped and looked into the distance with a look of shock. The storm went straight to the sky. It broke the sky. Incredible! Incredible! This power is so incredible. It seems it all comes from that sword. It's just a sword. Why does it contain such power? What technical principles are involved? Orochimaru stood still, looking at the Imperial Abido in the center of the storm and the sword in his hand, his eyes full of curiosity and fanaticism. Save me, Lord Orochimaru! Save me! A scream of fear rang in my ears. Orochimaru turned his head and saw the passerby-looking man who brought Abido from the Empire here. He was constantly flying backwards in the storm, and along with the broken wood he broke one tree after another. At this time, his body was ragged and covered with blood. It's so noise. Can't you just quietly enjoy this beautiful scenery? Orochimaru whispered, ignoring the passerby-looking man's request for help, and looked back at the Imperial Abido, licking his tongue from time to time. Until the storm subsides. Only then did Abido put down the sword of rebellion in his hand. At this moment, there was not a single tree within 500 meters of the place. The ground was completely bare. Call out. The Susanoo on Imperial Abido's body vibrated its wings and flew near Sasuke, looking down at him from above and said, compared with the thunder release Kirin and my sword of separation, it seems like nothing. You when Sasuke was silent for a moment. He knew that after the failure of the lightning release Kirin, he no longer had any tricks to defeat the opponent. So he put away the curse seal directly, and after returning to his original state, he panted and said, but this doesn't seem to be the power of the Sharingan. What is that sword? He was not worried that the other party would come over and stab him to death with a sword. After all, we are all Uchiha. It's just a competition. It won't be a life and death fight. Not everyone is that bastard Uchiha Itachi. As for what he just said about killing the other person, that's just talking tough. In fact, Kirin's landing point was at least dozens of meters away from the opponent. Given the opponent's ability, Sasuke believed that he would at most seriously injure him unexpectedly. Kirin was actually defeated directly. Didn't you say that? This is a spiritual sword developed by the Divine Weapon Development Department, specifically designed to complement the power of Susanoo. It was named the Sword of Separation by His Majesty himself. Imperial Abido replied, and suddenly turned his head to look towards Konoha. Someone is coming. The noise from the fight just now was a bit too loud. Come with me to avoid these eyes. After saying this, Imperial Abido appeared beside Sasuke in a flash, then put one hand on his shoulder, twisted his body, and disappeared in front of Orochimaru. It's not the instant body jutsu, it's the time-space ninjutsu. What a scary Uchiha! Orochimaru's eyes narrowed slightly, just as he was about to evacuate. There was another rotation around, and the Imperial Abido, who had just disappeared, reappeared. Orochimaru instinctively wanted to step back and dodge, but Imperial Abido just glared at him with his Sharingan. He stood there, watching the other party put a hand on his shoulder and disappear with him. Shhhhhhh. Several sounds of breaking through the air were heard one after another. Several Anbu ninjas landed and their eyelids twitched as they looked at the wasteland with a diameter of 1 kilometer and a large area of bare forest nearby. Amazing destructive power. Did another war just happen here? Is it the invasion of the tailed beasts from Kumagakure again? Who will resist them this time? Lady Tsunade is still in training. Could it be Jiraiya-sama? Forget it, let's go back and report to the Hokage. After a while, they left again. In a strange space, Sasuke, Imperial Obito, and Orochimaru appeared one after another. Sasuke and Orochimaru looked at the strange space in front of them with some curiosity, which was filled with long stone pillars. This is where? Sasuke asked. The divine power space, the space granted by my kaleidoscope ability. Imperial Obito said very bluntly. The power of the main Jikayo. So besides Susanoo, the main Jikayo still has this power, Sasuke said with a serious expression. Why are you envious? Imperial Obito rode. Sasuke did not respond, but asked, let's continue with the topic just now. What is the Divine Weapon Development Department? Is it the organization behind you? Is Your Majesty the code name of the leader of the organization? If you insist on understanding it this way, it's not impossible. It's just Your Majesty's greatness is something you cannot even imagine or understand at the moment. This is not something that can be explained by just a leader of an organization. Imperial Obito shrugged. Uchiha Runtu, by fighting with you. I can imagine how powerful your organization is. Can I join? Sasuke said with his eyes flickering. When Orochimaru, who was not far away, heard these words, his eyes twitched suddenly. My precious child whom I have raised for nearly 3 years now wants to defect. How can I allow this? Orochimaru was furious and wanted to tie Sasuke back right now. But when he saw the sword in Obito's hand and the eye contact they had just had, he didn't dare to act rashly. Sasuke-kun, after betraying Konoha, are you planning on betraying me now? He licked his lips and said bitterly. Betrayal. This word is usually used when superiors and subordinates go against each other. But you and I are just partners, and our common goal is to kill Uchiha Itachi. What betrayal? Sasuke retorted without changing his expression. Chapter 72. Main Jikayo. Sasuke, please read. 72. From the beginning, he only used Orochimaru's power to strengthen himself. Now, there is not much to learn from Orochimaru, so he might as well stick with his own clan. As long as he can get revenge, he can give up everything. Through the fight with Uchiha Runtu just now, Sasuke knew that main Jikayo was very powerful. At the moment, I'm probably no match for Itachi. Is that so, Sasuke-kun? It really makes me sad when you say that. Orochimaru looked gloomy. Don't be sad, Orochimaru. As long as you join my organization, won't you be able to be with your beloved swordsman Sasuke again? Imperial Obito said. Orochimaru's expression hardened. Join your organization together? Then I still have a chance to take action against Sasuke. Moreover, no matter how I look at it, it is very likely that your organization is another Zio, right? Do you want to use my technology to realize your delusional ambitions? As Orochimaru thought to himself, he inevitably thought of the Akatsuki organization, especially that woman named Zio Onin. If she hadn't asked him to pay the organization's fees and hand over his technology every once in a while, he would not just have a conflict with Uchiha Itachi and then escape from it. That bastard woman is going too far. Although Orochimaru is not a good person, he at least gives his subordinates some strength. And what about the Akatsuki organization? They can't get any benefits at all, but they just keep making big promises about unifying the ninja world. It's really annoying. Who do they think he is, Orochimaru? Who can't draw a picture? Why don't you want to? Said Imperial Obito. Haha. Orochimaru smiled with a fluctuating expression. Before he could speak, The Imperial Obaido said, "Don't rush to refuse. There is something I think you might be interested in." After he finished speaking, he looked at Sasuke again. Then he moved his right hand over his left hand, and a bottle of blue potion and a bottle of red potion were taken out. Drink the red and drip the blue onto your Sharingan. Imperial Obaido said this before throwing 2 bottles of potion at Sasuke. Sasuke took it and narrowed his eyes. He didn't ask why. He unscrewed the red potion and drank it all, and then dripped the blue potion on his Sharingan. Amal! Sasuke groaned and covered his eyes with his hands. At this moment, he felt a burning sensation in his eyes, which made him suffer. He gritted his teeth and endured it. Thoughts were surging in my mind. At this moment, he thought of the time when he was young and rushed home alone with excitement, wanting to share his joy with that bastard Uchiha Itachi, but ended up seeing him kill his parents with his own hands. He thought of the beating that Uchiha Itachi, that bastard, had given him. Thinking of the other party's hateful words, "My foolish brother, if you want to kill me, then just resent and curse me, and then live on in ugliness, constantly running away just to stay alive. And then one day when you have eyes like mine, come to me. I have always played the role of your ideal big brother in order to confirm your ability. You have become my opponent in measuring my own ability. Uchiha Itachi. I must kill you. No matter what the cost. I must kill you." Page 63. Sasuke lowered his hands, suddenly opened his eyes, and a shrill roar resounded throughout the space. Boom! Exclamation! A terrifying and astonishing burst of purple chakra. This chakra instantly turned into a purple skeleton giant. As Sasuke continued to roar, the giant quickly condensed flesh and blood, and then a set of armor covered his entire body. Orochimaru, who was not far away, was stunned when he saw this. What did he see? Uchiha Sasuke's eyes, which originally had 3 Magatama, somehow connected into one and became a kaleidoscope like Uchiha Runtu's. The 3 Magatama turned into a kaleidoscope. Why? How did they do that? Was it because of the 2 bottles of potion? And this thing on him? Is it also Susanoo? Why is it so huge compared to Uchiha Runtu? Orochimaru was extremely curious and shocked. The other party's research on the Sharingan is much better than his. This is... The pain in Sasuke's eyes slowly disappeared, and he discovered his own abnormality. He murmured in surprise, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. Then he covered his face and laughed wildly. Ha 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 ha. I feel it. Endless energy filling my whole body. I understand everything. This is Susanoo, the divine power of the Uchiha clan. Now I can definitely kill that bastard Uchiha Itachi. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. What did you give Sasuke to drink? Why did it allow him to awaken his main Jikayo? Orochimaru looked at Imperial Obaido with greed and desire on his face and asked. This question also made Sasuke stop laughing wildly, and he looked at the Empire Obaido with burning eyes. The blue one is a special medicine for the Sharingan, which can greatly enhance pupil power. Anyone with sufficient potential can awaken the kaleidoscope after using it. It is one of the special medicines developed by the Imperial Medicine Development Bureau. As for the red one, that is the sacred tree gene potion. This may be difficult for you to understand. To put it simply, it is similar to Hashirama Senju's physical constitution potion. But this is just the beginning, Imperial Obaido said. Orochimaru was shocked. Sharingan special medicine? It can greatly enhance pupil power, maybe even awaken the kaleidoscope. And there is also the physical potion of Senju Hashirama. This when Orochimaru finished speaking, he couldn't help but take several breaths, and his chest and abdomen kept rising and falling. Senju Hashirama's physical condition potion. This is really an amazing thing. This thing was once one of Orochimaru's research projects, but unfortunately it failed in the end. I didn't expect that this so-called empire of Uchiha Runtu actually possessed such amazing science and technology. Amazing. So amazing. Orochimaru couldn't help but reveal strong curiosity and interest in his eyes. He became more interested in organizing the empire. This is not a stupid organization like Sayao that only knows how to take but has no technology at all. Uchiha Sasuke didn't understand this. But the evolution of the Mangekyou is enough to make him excited. What's more, Hashirama Senju is the first Hokage and has the same physique as him. No wonder he feels his strength has skyrocketed. Of course, what interested him most was the so-called organization empire. Orochimaru, you are a genius with a vision and will that transcends the mortals of this era. It's a shame to continue wasting your talents here. Join us. There are many people like you, and you can better display your wisdom and talent. Come join us. Trust me, you won't regret it. The seductive voice of Imperial Abido sounded again. That's a really good suggestion, Gentu-kun. I admit that I am somewhat tempted, but if you want me to join, I think I need to go to the Empire to see it with my own eyes, to witness it, and to understand it. After the unpleasant experience with the Akatsuki organization, Orochimaru said with some caution, Chapter 73 will be released at 73:073. As the title says, it will be on sale at 0 o'clock. After failing in the competition for Sanjong, the popularity of Shuadu started to decline. There was no hope, so I might as well just put it on the shelves. There will be 0 updates at 5:8.22, a total of words. The subsequent updates will depend on my performance and status. After all, I have been quite busy recently because I am getting married on, but even if I get married, I will not stop updating. I will save as many drafts as possible during normal times, so the normal updates will depend on my status. If you are interested in this book, please remember to support and subscribe. After all, this is how the author makes a living. Chapter 74, Orochimaru. I want to see Sasuke-kun's Mangekyou ability 74K. Please subscribe 74. Of course, but it won't work now. The road to the Empire still requires the power of the tailed beasts. Imperial Abido Road. The power of the tailed beasts. Is Runtu currently collecting the tailed beasts? Orochimaru's eyes flickered. That's it. Do you need help? With the combined efforts of the three of us, I believe we can capture him even if he is inside the ninja village as long as we cooperate properly. Orochimaru said with a smile, looking confident. Join forces? What are you talking about, Orochimaru? Do you need to work together to capture something like that? Imperial Abido frowned and looked at Orochimaru strangely and said. This stunned Orochimaru, who had just looked confident. What does Runtu-kun mean? The ninjas from the Mirror Village are nothing more than a bunch of ants on the ground. The Empire's Abido looked disdainful. If I wasn't worried about causing unrest and killing too many people and being blamed by the people of the Empire, I would have done it long ago. So Runtu-kun is worried about this. That's such a pity. Orochimaru's eyes twitched. I thought to myself that the guy in front of me was too good at pretending, and smiled awkwardly. That's right, Gentu-kun. I also got some news about the three tails before. Now it is an ownerless tailed beast. As long as we confirm it, maybe we can take action on it. Masterless tailed beast. That's good. We don't have to worry about capturing it causing too much resistance or killing. Then this task is left to you. Imperial Abido nodded, paused, remembered something and continued. By the way, can you do this alone? There was a hint of doubt in his eyes. This made Orochimaru angry. But looking at the other party's expression, he didn't want to show weakness, so he gritted his teeth, licked his lips and said, of course it's just a mere three-tail. As expected of one of the three legendary ninjas, someone who had the power to capture the tailed beasts alone during the ninja village era was considered quite a strong man. Abido from the Empire gave Orochimaru a rare compliment, which finally made Orochimaru feel a little better. He turned his head again and looked at Sasuke. By the way, what is your kaleidoscope ability? Mangekyou ability. Apart from that thing called Susanoo, does Mangekyou have other abilities? Orochimaru asked curiously without waiting for Sasuke to respond. Of course, the Mangekyo Sharingan is an eye that houses the power of God. Susanoo is just a standard feature of every Mangekyo. In addition, it is also called the Eye of the Soul. According to the owner's most primitive desires and dreams, the left and right eyes will gain corresponding powerful abilities after they are upgraded to kaleidoscopes. Imperial Abido explained. Great, is this the true meaning of the Mangekyo Sharingan, the Eye of the Soul? Orochimaru licked his lips excitedly. So Mr. Runtu's ability to make his body virtual, and the ability to bring us into this different dimension, is the ability of the kaleidoscope. You can understand it that way. Imperial Abido nodded. That's amazing. Slurp. Orochimaru licked his lips again and looked at Sasuke. What will be Sasuke-kun's awakened ability? It's really exciting. His sinister snake eyes were filled with greed and desire that could not be concealed. Humph. Sasuke felt Orochimaru's gaze, snorted in disgust, and suddenly raised the corners of his mouth. If you want to know, then experience it yourself, Orochimaru. As soon as he finished speaking, Sasuke glared at Orochimaru, tumultuous. Black flames suddenly ignited from Orochimaru's body, burning him and causing him to scream. Ah. Sasuke-kun. Quick. Stop it. Do you want to kill me? Ah. Orochimaru's body was covered in black smoke and he rolled on the ground in pain. Haha. Ha 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 ha. Orochimaru, don't you want to know my abilities? This is my power. Amaterasu. How does it taste? Sasuke laughed, covering his eyes. No. Stop it. Ah. Orochimaru was still screaming and rolling around. The Imperial Abido on the side frowned. Sasuke, your other ability should be Kagetsuchi no Mikoto, right? Dispel the black flames. Orochimaru will be our partner from now on. HMPH. I really hate the look in Orochimaru's eyes. He has been spying on Uchiha's Sharingan. Are you sure you want to let him go? Sasuke asked back. Peek into the Sharingan? Once he sees the power of the Empire and more ways to become stronger, he won't have such thoughts. Put away Amaterasu. Page 64. Imperial Abido spoke in a commanding tone. HMPH, I hope you're right. Sasuke was silent for a moment, then his eyes widened again. The black flame attached to Orochimaru immediately seemed to come to life and slowly separated from his body. Freed from the burning of the black flames, Orochimaru opened his mouth and spit out another version of himself. Covered in mucus, he exhaled, looked at Sasuke with a face full of cold sweat and said, "The black flame just now was released by focusing your gaze? It's really a terrifying Mangekyo ability, Amaterasu, Kagetsuchi no Mikoto." As he spoke, he licked it unconsciously again, and the desire in his eyes became stronger. The Mangekyo Sharingan is really powerful. Not only does he have special abilities, he can also release Susanoo. If only I had it too. Tsunade and Jiraiya are no longer worthy of being my opponents. I will far surpass them. Maybe even stronger than all the cages of the past, but it's a pity that I may not be able to deal with Sasuke now. When Orochimaru thought of this, he couldn't help but feel distressed. The duck that was in his mouth was about to fly away. Okay, what needs to be done has been done. Orochimaru, you can go back and get information about the Three Tails. Sasuke will stay with me for the time being. Seeing that the time was almost right, Imperial Abido spoke. Orochimaru raised his eyebrows when he heard this. I understand, Jundu. I stay in Konoha with you? I'm a traitor now. If I'm discovered, it will be very troublesome. Sasuke's expression changed and he was a little hesitant. Don't worry, you won't be discovered. Abido replied calmly, and then added, Don't think I don't know your little thoughts, Sasuke. You can't kill Itachi. Besides being our prey, there are many other people who want to kill him. Killing him simply would be too easy for him. That bastard. I want him to know what despair and cruelty are. Tesk, have you seen through me? But, besides us, is there anyone else who wants to kill Itachi? Sasuke felt unwilling and confused. Of course, there are too many people in the Empire who want to make his life worse than death. Imperial Abido Road. Empire, what kind of organization is it? Why do they hate Itachi so much? What did that guy do? Sasuke asked curiously. What exactly is the Empire? This is a little difficult to explain. Just stay by my side and you will slowly understand. Come on, I'll take you to meet my two companions. Imperial Abido said the last sentence. He placed his two hands on Sasuke and Orochimaru's shoulders respectively, and turned into a whirlpool and disappeared. The three of them reappeared in a devastated forest. Orochimaru gave Sasuke a last deep look before turning and leaving. He disappeared in a few jumps and blinks. Watching his disappearing back, Abido threw a disguise mask and a set of clothes to Sasuke. After a while, Sasuke turned into a man who looked like an ordinary person. The two of them walked towards Konoha in a swagger. Haven't gone very far. A familiar voice came from a distance. Come on, everyone. Feel the flow of your inner energy and get used to it. Try to reduce your fatigue as much as possible. There's only one lap left. If you hold on, you can rest. This voice is Sasuke paused and turned to look in the direction of the sound. I saw a girl with pink hair that reached her ears, jogging with a group of people. There were at least dozens of people in this group. They were all so tired that their faces were pale and their eyes were full of stars, but they gritted their teeth and followed the pink-haired girl closely. So it's Sakura. You're running with so many people? What is Konoha trying to do? Sasuke whispered in surprise. I couldn't understand the scene before me. 3 years ago, it seemed that the only ones who did this were the master and apprentice duo Might Guy and Rock Lee, right? Why are so many people in Konoha practicing physical skills now? This is the order from the Hokage. These people are training in martial arts with Haruno Sakura. Imperial Abido glanced at it and replied, Martial arts? What is that? Sasuke frowned. The Empire is a training system developed by the organization that is different from chakra. It can make the practitioner's strength increase dramatically. As one of the first beneficiaries, Naruto's strength is already comparable to that of a Hokage. Imperial Abido explained. The new training system can actually allow Naruto, a loser, to grow to a level comparable to that of a Hokage. No wonder the people of Konoha take it so seriously, but why would the organization teach Konoha such an important thing? Sasuke frowned, recalling Naruto's terrible performance when he first met him. With that kind of strength, calling him just an ordinary jonin would be overestimating him. Now he has become so strong, comparable to the Hokage. If I hadn't activated the main Jikyo Sharingan, it would have been a bit troublesome to deal with him. But now it doesn't matter. With the main Jikyo Sharingan, I'm invincible. A mediocre person without a kaleidoscope is not worthy of being compared with me. Why teach it to Konoha? Of course, it's because Konoha will belong to the Empire sooner or later. Imperial Abido replied calmly. So you want to conquer Konoha? Sasuke looked a little serious. That's not an easy task. There are quite a few ninjas in Konoha. Numbers are meaningless in front of a truly powerful person. Once you have the complete Susanoo, you will understand everything. The so-called ninjas are nothing more than stronger and weaker ants. The only difference is how many you can kill with one kick. Imperial Abido replied indifferently. Sasuke was stunned. Complete Susanoo? Yes, this is also the true power of the Uchiha clan. The power of God that mortals cannot reach. Imperial Abido whispered, his face full of pride. Oh, that's really exciting. Sasuke also showed a hint of curiosity and yearning. Sakura just passed by the two of them with a group of ninjas. She glanced at Abido with a smile and said, Hello, Brother Rundu. Is this person next to you a new friend? Ah, that's right. Imperial Abido nodded, looking uninterested. Seeing this, Sakura didn't say much. She just smiled and nodded to Sasuke, then led everyone past and soon disappeared without a trace. Let's go. Sasuke's eyes did not stay on Sakura for a few seconds, and he looked at Imperial Obaido again. You don't want to meet Naruto and Kakashi? No, this useless bond will only make people weak. Sasuke shook his head. Imperial Obaido and Sasuke returned to the apartment. Close the door. He threw another book to Sasuke. Uchiha Spiritual Martial Arts. Is this the so-called martial arts that Naruto and Sakura practiced? Sasuke asked as he looked at the large words on the book. They practice the 6 forms of martial arts. It is a physical martial art. This is a spiritual martial art, and also the Uchiha's exclusive martial art. After practicing, the various abilities of the Sharingan can be strengthened, and yin attribute chakra can be increased. Just watch it yourself first, and ask me if you have any questions. Imperial Obaido said, and took out a flower from somewhere and began to peddle it. Love, don't love, love, don't love, love, don't love. Sasuke couldn't understand Obaido's strange behavior, but he was quite interested in the Uchiha spiritual martial arts, which was specifically designed to strengthen the power of the Uchiha clan, so he slowly flipped through it. Of course, what he cares about most is Uchiha spiritual martial arts, this kind of thing specific to Uchiha. None of the Uchiha clan has it. How could this guy named Runtu and this organization exist? The organization called Empire became more and more mysterious in Sasuke's mind. Time flies. The sun outside the window sets quickly. A man with a passerby-like face, unusually strong build, over 1.9 meters tall, and a relatively thin, shorter man pushed open the door and walked in. Sasuke looked at the two of them and said, "You two are Uchiha Runtu's teammates." There's one more person, won't you explain it, Obaido? Empire Neji looked at Empire Obaido without any scruples and called him by his real name. Obaido? Sasuke raised a brow. Love 187 times. Don't love 198 times, still 11 times left, damn it. Obaido put away the flowers in his hand with an ugly look on his face and said weakly, "This guy is the Sasuke of this world." Page 65. Sasuke on the side saw that his identity was revealed, so he took off the disguise mask on his face. Looking at that familiar face, the Empire's Ningsai said with some surprise, "It's actually the Sasuke of this world. Isn't he following this world's Orochimaru? How did you kidnap him?" "Oh ho ho. The Sasuke of this world." Empire Lee's eyes glowed, and he appeared in front of Sasuke in an instant, holding up his hands. The unsuspecting Sasuke's pupils shrank, so fast, as expected to be Runtu's companion. These guys are definitely not weaklings. Hey, Sasuke-kun, do you want to practice our martial arts with me? I promise that after you practice, your strength will become super strong. Come on. Let's burn our blood together. Youth. Empire's Lai couldn't help but roar. Chapter 75. Konoha's Encounter with Orochimaru, edited 75. Sasuke's forehead was covered with sweat. He felt that the guy in front of him was strangely familiar. Why do they look so much like the master and disciple with thick eyebrows? In this world, apart from those two idiots, there are still people with this kind of personality. It's really rare. With his face trembling, Sasuke looked at Runtu gloomily and said, "Don't you care about this guy? I'm not his captain, how can I manage it?" The Empire Obaido doesn't care about the way. It made Sasuke's heart skip a beat. Uchiha Runtu is not the captain of the three. Are they equals? Or is he a subordinate? These two guys are as strong as Runtu? Or even stronger? What a joke. Just explain everything clearly, Obaido. You didn't collect intelligence today, what did you do? Imperial Neji pressed. Imperial Obaido obediently expressed his thoughts and what he encountered. I see, I wanted to lure that bastard Uchiha Itachi over here, but Orochimaru and Sasuke showed up instead. It would be possible to subdue them both now. Especially Orochimaru, as a genius scientist, he is of great value. We understand your intention to redeem yourself from your crimes, and I will explain this to His Majesty later. Imperial Neji nodded. You are Rentuno, you are the captain of Abido? He asked me to join the organization without revealing any information about the organization. Can you tell me about it? Sasuke said. He was very curious about the Empire organization. Okay, but I'll only say it once. Whether you believe it or not, I won't explain further. As Ningji of the Empire spoke, he gave a brief account of the dimensional world and the Empire, while returning the three people in the room to their normal state. Looking at the familiar faces of two of the three people, Sasuke was silent for a moment before he raised his lips and said, "Another world, the Shenwu Empire, and another me and everyone in Konoha. This is really too interesting." Haha. Sasuke covered his face with one hand and laughed. "Oh, you believe it?" said Ningji of the Empire in surprise. "No one can lie in front of my eyes." Sasuke smiled confidently, his eyes flashed red, revealing a constantly spinning kaleidoscope. Mangekyo. The Sasuke in this world can also open the Mangekyo, as expected of the twin stars of the Imperial capital. Empire Ningji sighed a little. That was activated after he took the potion I gave him. Imperial Abido interrupted. Ningsai's eyebrows jumped. Is that so? As expected, it's better not to have any expectations of the people in this world. Don't say that, Neji. The Sasuke-kun in this world just didn't practice martial arts. Come on, Sasuke-kun, practice martial arts with me and burn your youth together. That way you will definitely become super strong. Zio-Lai grabbed Sasuke's hand again. You too, Humph. I admit that I wasn't so powerful before I had the kaleidoscope, but I'm completely different now. Sasuke looked unhappy. He has eternal eyes. Imperial Neji turned his head and looked at Imperial Abido. How can it be? Imperial Abido said speechlessly. Then what is he pretending to be? Imperial Neji looked confused. That's just my personality. Imperial Abido said. I see. Is this the personality of Sasuke in this world? He is very pretentious even though he has no strength. I understand. The undisguised words of the Empire Neji made Sasuke's face flush with blood. He glared at him angrily and said, Damn it. Don't think you can look down on Uchiha just because you are Abido's partner. Put away your frivolous attitude. Otherwise I don't mind letting you know the power of kaleidoscope. I must know better than you how powerful the kaleidoscope is. The Empire Neji said, then raised the corner of his mouth. But if you want to spar with me, I'm always here to accompany you. Spare with the Sasuke of this world. That's a good idea. My youth is burning again. Oh, Zio-Lai's eyes were blazing with fire and he became interested. Humph. Since you want to experience the power of the kaleidoscope, I will let you see it. Sasuke looked gloomy. A group of people quickly used the power of Kamui space and appeared more than 10 kilometers away from Konoha. Boom! A fierce battle began. The battle goes as quickly as it comes. But a few minutes passed. Sasuke held his stomach in pain and looked at the man in white standing in front of him with a distorted face. The man in white is naturally Ningsai from the Empire. A ball of Amaterasu's black flames continued to burn around him, but it was never able to actually touch the body of the Imperial Neji. Instead, it continued to rotate in a Tai Chi pattern. How is this possible? It's just a mere Hyuga. But he actually possesses such power he can reverse my attack and use the force to penetrate my Susanoo. Sasuke's voice was filled with reluctance and regret. This is the power of martial arts. An ordinary kaleidoscope is far from defeating me. Imperial Neji looked indifferent. Don't be discouraged, Sasuke-kun. The power of martial arts is extremely strong. As long as you learn with me, you will become super awesome. They will definitely defeat us then. Empire Zio-Lai comforts. What do you mean? Do you think you can defeat me too? Sasuke glared at the other person with an unhappy look on his face. Now, there should be no problem. Empire Lai smiled and gave a thumbs up. Damn it! How dare you all look down on me? Looking down on Uchiha. Sasuke was completely furious and challenged Empire Lee again in this way 1 minute later. Sasuke lay on the ground with his face swollen like a pig's head. Lose lost, are you a monster? You smashed Susanoo to pieces with just one punch. Is this the kind of power a human can possess? Impossible. This shouldn't be the case, but this is the power of martial arts. It can prolong one's life and protect one from all diseases. If you practice to a high level, you can penetrate the sky and shatter mountains and rivers. No ninjutsu or bloodline limit can compare to it. So, come practice with me. Imperial Lee gave Sasuke a thumbs up. Sasuke snorted coldly, suddenly thought of something, and asked, who is stronger, me in the other world or you? Of course you are strong. Our Sasuke-kun is super strong. The so-called twin stars of the imperial capital. That is a title bestowed by His Majesty. She is the brightest star among her peers. We are far from it. Zio Lai praised it with some respect. HMPH. Sasuke raised the corner of his mouth. In the other world, I am still stronger. I am not as good as these guys now. It seems that it is because I have not practiced martial arts yet. He comforted himself in his heart, and then thought of what Empire Little Lai said, the twin stars of the imperial capital. Not bad then. Who is the other twin star that can be ranked alongside me? Could it be someone from another ninja village? He felt that apart from him, everyone in Konoha was just a bunch of mediocre people. Page 66. It's Naruto-kun, Empire Little Lai said. Naruto? The imperial capital twins? Sasuke frowned and suddenly began to doubt the truth of the information provided by the three people before he stood up. What a joke. How could a last-place guy like him be called the twin stars of the imperial capital? Does he have that ability? Sasuke felt a little unhappy. However, he soon returned to the apartment with the imperial trio, and then devoted himself to practicing the Uchiha spiritual martial arts, staying at home every day. I don't know if it's to surpass the Empire's Nansai and Rock Lee as soon as possible to complete their revenge. I still don't want the Naruto in this world to surpass me. Soon another month has passed. Call in the suburbs of Konoha. Tsunade, who was dressed in tight clothes that made her perfect figure particularly eye-catching, snapped her fingers. One air bullet after another flew out from her fingertips and smashed the wooden stakes not far away into pieces. Next to them, among the outstanding martial arts students belonging to Naruto's group, Shizune applauded repeatedly, as expected of Lady Tsunade. You are so amazing. The power of the finger gun in your finger is much more powerful than Naruto, Sakura, and the others. With Lord Hokage's aptitude, he should be considered a martial arts genius, right? Ye said. The burning passion of youth, Hokage-sama, is no less dazzling than anyone else, and even more dazzling. It's decided. Today I have to practice 5,000 steps. If I can't do it, I'll practice hammering an iron block 3,000 times. Zio Lai's eyes were burning with flames, and he looked at Tsunade with a passionate face and shouted, Bo, Lai, what you said is so good. My blood is burning too. Tai yelled as well. Ha 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 ha. Let's burn together. For more wonderful youth and passion. Empire's Little Lai, who had already become familiar with everyone, also laughed. Tsunade-sama's finger gun can now be renamed as finger cannon. Its power is truly terrifying. Kakashi complained. Granny Tsunade is indeed amazing. If I were to ask my martial arts teacher to evaluate me, I believe he would also praise Granny Tsunade as a martial arts genius. Naruto also praised. Humph. Who do you think I am? Tsunade said this proudly, and then said with a serious look, however, the more I come into contact with martial arts, the more I understand its power. The control of the body by true Kai. It far exceeded my previous understanding. And its plasticity is also extremely strong. When I integrated the principles of the superpower fist with the finger gun, my finger gun did complete its transformation. As for genius, Kakashi, you are not inferior to me. Kai, you are the fastest among us in cultivation, and you are worthy of the name of the Blue Beast. Ah, this is pure luck. Maybe the compatibility of practicing martial arts this time is more suitable for me, Kakashi said modestly. It's really surprising that teacher Kakashi can practice so fast. After all, your pure yang energy has been leaking out like a funnel. Naruto complained. The expressions of Tsunade and Shikaku who were present changed slightly. Kakashi's eyes twitched. Naruto, you bastard. You keep talking nonsense. Fortunately, no one knows. Kakashi remained silent. Pure yang energy? What is that? Is it related to practicing martial arts? Can we get more of it? I really want to learn how to fly in the sky with the moon step as soon as possible, Ino said with some longing. That's the scarce energy in the human body. There's no way to replenish it. Just ignore it. If you practice well, I believe you can master the 6 styles soon. Kakashi encouraged everyone and quickly changed the subject. Ha 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 ha. Kakashi is right. Martial arts and taijutsu are the same. Only by burning your youth and working hard can you become better. This is a road with no shortcuts. It only requires hard work. Everyone, come on. Kai raised his right fist and shouted loudly. Teacher Thick Eyebrows, do you think everyone can be like you? If I exercise 20 hours a day for a month, I will die. Ino looked exhausted. Ha 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 ha. Everyone's passion is still not burning strong enough. Kai laughed. The others had different expressions now. A month passed. All ninjas also showed varying degrees of talent and potential in martial arts. Among them, Might Guy is the best. Of course, in reality, Tsunade and Kakashi's talent in martial arts is not inferior to Might Guy, but unfortunately Guy's training is too crazy. Other people may be able to persist in this high-intensity training for a day or two, but forget about it for a week or a month. Therefore, the gap naturally arises. For now, Might Guy is learning martial arts faster than Naruto. Next are Tsunade and Kakashi, who are on par with Naruto. The next level are Lee, Ningji, Chaoji, Tiba and others, who are equivalent to Sakura. As for the others, they are even inferior. When Tsunade first discovered this problem, she reassigned some of the people who had almost no talent for training to carry out the mission. Therefore, all matters big and small within Konoha are still running stably. There is even enough energy to send out personnel to continue collecting intelligence from the outside world. Call out. A sound broke through the air. Everyone present looked at the newcomer at the same time. Lady Tsunade, we have important information, the Konoha ninja who suddenly appeared said anxiously. While I understand, Tsunade nodded and immediately moved away from the crowd with the newcomer. There is a distance of several hundred meters between them. The person who came told the information. Really, have you found traces of Orochimaru and the possibility of the 3 tails? In any case, this information was obtained only after the intelligence officer died. We must not let that bastard Orochimaru get away with it. Besides, if he were to control the 3 tail, there might be big trouble. Tsunade whispered, letting the intelligence officer leave and heading back to the training grounds. As she walked, she was still thinking about how to solve this problem. Orochimaru is with Uchiha Sasuke, so Naruto must not know about it. This little brat is the one who has practiced the most advanced martial arts in Konoha today. It's best not to tell Tang, Ningsai and Runtu. No matter who they are, with their strength, if they obtain the power of the tailed beasts, things will become even more troublesome. So who should be assigned to carry out this task? Orochimaru is a very difficult guy. Kakashi. With his current strength and that eye, maybe he can. Who else should be paired with him? Slowly walked back to the crowd. Something unexpected happened to Tsunade. Naruto looked anxious and said, Granny Tsunade, I'm going to participate in this mission. I'm going to bring that bastard Sasuke back. I will never let him go this time. Exclamation. Whether it was Tsunade or the others, they were all shocked when they heard this. What mission? Naruto, what are you talking about? Someone asked in confusion. Some people looked thoughtful. Tsunade frowned and said, You heard it from such a long distance. I am now in the state of wind breathing. In addition to making my wind attribute ninjutsu more powerful, saving on hand seal steps, and speeding me up, this state also has another ability, which is to greatly enhance my hearing, so I heard everything. Naruto said seriously. I see. Tsunade sighed and looked like she had a headache. Granny Tsunade, I want to go there. I want to teach that bastard Orochimaru a lesson and bring Sasuke back. Please let me go. You are the strongest teacher in the martial arts class now. If you leave, who will teach everyone martial arts? Tsunade said with a headache. Everyone has now gotten a basic understanding of martial arts, and you have learned all 6 styles of Master Nong Mei. It will be the same for everyone to learn from him. Even if this doesn't work, then just follow Tangzu. He is much better than me in this aspect. Tang Tsunade looked at the Empire's Lee, who was following Might Guy, with some hesitation. I'm afraid that won't work. Sanwei is one of our targets. Empire's Io Lai smiled and shook his head. Dawn's target is Sanwei. A group of Konoha ninjas' hearts skipped a beat. I couldn't help but think of the Akatsuki organization. Is this Tang, whose identity is mysterious, related to the Akatsuki organization? Thinking of this, they looked at Tsunade again. Tsunade rubbed her forehead with a headache and said, Page 67. I heard it too, so it's up to you guys. Tang, you and Naruto go together. Lady Tsunade, what are you talking about? The enemies are the Three Tails and Orochimaru. How can you let only Naruto and a distinguished guest go? A ninja objected. That's right. The difficulty of this mission is definitely S-level among S-level. We in Konoha should send more people and take it seriously. You guys okay? Then this mission will be carried out by Kakashi, Naruto, Sakura, Kiba, Hinata, Shino, Ino, Shikamaru, Neji, Choji, Tenten, Shizune and Yuen Tang together. Tsunade finished. Then he said to Imperial Lai, Remember, go quickly and come back quickly. And Orochimaru is not a good guy. If possible, it is best to kill him. Great. This time, I will never lose to Sasuke. I will definitely bring him back. Naruto clenched his fist with some joy. Don't worry, Tsunade-sama. Imperial Lee gave Tsuna a thumbs up. As long as I'm standing, no one will get hurt, I promise you. Then trouble you. Tsunade nodded shhhhhh. Empire's Rock Lee, Naruto, Sakura, Kakashi and others were flying through the woods at a very fast speed. Among them, Naruto, who performed the wind-breathing technique, and Rock Lee from the Empire were the best and were far ahead. Sakura, who was far behind, looked at Naruto and Imperial Lee in front of her. He glanced at his teammates who were panting behind him and couldn't help but frown and shout, Naruto, Tang, slow down. Everyone is in a bad condition now. If we encounter an enemy, we will be very passive. Sorry I forgot about you all again. Naruto and Lee, who were running in the front, immediately slowed down and ran at the same speed as everyone else, but their faces were full of anxiety. He was so eager to see Sasuke again and bring him back to Konoha. Every second Sasuke stays with that bastard Orochimaru, he will be in more danger. Naruto was worried about Sasuke and was extremely anxious. But at this time he had to suppress his anxiety. We're fine, Naruto, you don't have to worry about us. Hinata said softly. Damn it. I never thought that one day when we're with this guy Naruto, we'd end up being held back. It's really unbearable. Yes said a little unhappily. Naruto, this guy, his physical strength was just fine before. Now, with the addition of martial arts, he is indeed much stronger. so it is normal that we cannot keep up. Shino looked calm. As expected of Tang Jun, he has been practicing martial arts since he was young. His strength is indeed strong. I feel that he is not inferior to Lady Tsunade, Shikamaru said. Not only is she not inferior to Lady Tsunade, she is even better than him. Kakashi, Naruto, and Sakura rolled their eyes inwardly. You have just started learning martial arts. Don't be discouraged. Once you have mastered it, you will all be this strong, Kakashi consoled. Kakashi-sensei, forget it. There are differences in level and talent among ninjas, isn't it the same in martial arts? We are not geniuses like Kakashi-sensei, Naruto, Tsunade-sama, and Thick Eyebrows-sensei. How can we catch up with them? I'm afraid it's impossible in this lifetime. However, practicing martial arts does make us much stronger. This will be a great advantage for us when facing other villages in the future, Shikamaru said calmly. That's right. With the existence of martial arts, our Konoha can leave other ninja villages far behind. The other Xiao King were also very happy. What advantages will it have over other villages in the future? After, Kakashi looked puzzled. If all the information about the Empire is true, I'm afraid it will be gone from now on. SHHHHHH. The group was talking as they sped along. Suddenly, Naruto stopped and shouted, I heard them. Orochimaru and the others are over there. As he spoke, he flew towards the right. When the others around saw this, they looked at each other, and without caring about their tiredness, they followed at full speed. Not a moment. They rushed out of the woods. Under the bright sunshine, a man in cloth with deep purple eye shadow stood at the edge of the huge lake with more than 30 people looking at them who had just emerged from the forest. You bastard Orochimaru! Give Sasuke back to me! Naruto was the first to rush out of the forest. He couldn't wait to roar at Orochimaru while he was still high in the air. It's this guy. He's really annoying. Beside Orochimaru, Kabuto Yakashi pushed his glasses up with some disgust. Sasuke? Uchiha Sasuke? Honglian whispered, somewhat solemn and surprised. It's Naruto-kun. Sasuke isn't here right now, Orochimaru said while licking his lips, his eyes flickering slightly as he noticed that something was wrong with Naruto, who was in the wind-breathing technique. Then he shifted his gaze to look at Kakashi, Neji, Hinata, and others behind him. However, what caught his attention the most was the Imperial Lee, who followed Naruto closely. He couldn't help but frown when he saw his well-developed muscles. This is really unfortunate. So many enemies came at once. It seems that there is no way to capture the three-tailed beast if we don't deal with them first. One chapter is 4K, one chapter is 6K. After thinking about it, I decided not to divide it into too many chapters as it would look unpleasant. The two-word content ended in a flash. It would be better if a chapter had 4,000 or 6,000 words, which would make it appear more rich in content. Chapter 76, Imperial Lie goes all out, leaving no room for error. Overhaul 76. Seeing Orochimaru's expression, Orochimaru's followers also showed displeasure and said, How dare you, you little bastard, talk to the great Lord Orochimaru like that? Are you looking for death? I'm going to crush your bones, little brat, they roared. One of them leapt forward, directly past Orochimaru, and flew towards Naruto. Seeing this, Imperial Lie next to him threw a punch. The wind from the fist rubbed against the air, creating a sonic boom. The sound ninja in midair was blown up. He turned into a pool of meat sauce and scattered everywhere, and the blood spurted out like rain. Everyone in Konoha and the sound ninja on Orochimaru's side had their eyelids twitching wildly. Was that an air punch? It was so powerful and so cruel. Brother Tang, Naruto looked at Imperial Lee with some surprise as he was the first to attack. Naruto-kun, I promised Lady Tsunade that this battle would end quickly. So I'm sorry, I can't give these guys to you. Empire Xiao Lai landed on the ground and smiled with his white teeth. This Naruto glanced at everyone behind Orochimaru, and when he saw that Sasuke was not there, he immediately lost interest. Okay, then let's give them to Brother Tang. Hinata was a little worried about this and said, Naruto-kun, this isn't a good idea, leaving Tang alone to deal with a formidable opponent like Orochimaru. That's right, Teacher Kakashi. Tang is our guest in Konoha, and he also taught us martial arts. We can't treat him like this. Ye said. You guys, each and every one of you, are you underestimating Tang? You have seen how powerful Naruto is after learning martial arts. Then, have you ever thought about how strong Tang, who taught Naruto martial arts, is? Kakashi looked at everyone's worried expressions and rolled his eyes helplessly. Everyone, don't have to worry. Tang is extremely powerful. When he takes action, we just need to watch from the side. Sakura also said. Their voices were not small. Everyone on Orochimaru's side heard it clearly. A group of people couldn't help but get angry. Orochimaru narrowed his eyes, secretly annoyed. Since when did he, one of the three great ninjas, be looked down upon like this? Do these bastards think they are Uchiha with Mangekyou? How dare they look down on him like this? It seems necessary to let the little ghosts of Konoha recall the horror of 3 years ago. He licked his lips gently, thinking evilly. How dare you underestimate us? Are you little brats looking for death? He's just a ninja from Konoha. He was almost destroyed by a sound ninja 3 years ago. How dare you be so arrogant to us? Lord Orochimaru, let me go. I'm going to tear them all apart. A sound ninja shouted. Simultaneously, page 68, the other side. Deidara-senpai. According to the information, the three tails should be here. But why can't I find it? It's so strange, Obito, who was wearing an Uzumaki mask, muttered in confusion. Stop talking nonsense. How would I know such a thing? Damn it, Afei. Be quiet. I'm still thinking about my art. Deidara glared at Obito unhappily. Senior Deidara is so mean. I'm going to complain to the leader. How can a senior treat a junior like this? Obito shrank back, pretending to be scared and complaining. Afei, you bastard, Deidara cursed a few more times. Suddenly there was a loud roar nearby. This made the two of them look shocked. Oh, something seems to have happened over there, Deidara-senpai. Let's go check it out. Maybe it's the three tails. Obito yelled. I know that without you telling me. Huh? Deidara said, creating a clay bird and flying it high into the sky. The two saw from afar 2 groups of people coming from the direction of the roar. Isn't that the former traitor of the organization, Orochimaru? And that one, the legendary 9 Tails, that one is the copy ninja Kakashi from Konoha. Though. This is so scary. How come there are so many powerful people here? When Obito saw so many people, he pretended to be surprised. Afei, you know a lot. You even know that Orochimaru was once a member of the organization? Deidara said with some surprise. Haha, well, as a newcomer to the organization, I must learn more about the organization. Otherwise, how can I gain the attention of the leader? Obito scratched the back of his head. That's really interesting. That guy Orochimaru actually confronted the 9 Tails, and it looked like a fight was about to start. But that Kyuubi guy looks weird. What is that outer garment he is wearing? It shouldn't be the tailed beast outer garment. Deidara looked at the battlefield from afar and wondered. I don't know, but it looks scary. Deidara-senpai, let's run away from it. If we are discovered, we will be doomed. Obito grabbed Deidara's sleeve and said with some fear, Shut up, Afei. This is an opportunity, we just have to wait here. When the 2 groups have almost finished fighting, even without the 3 tails, we can still retrieve the 9 tails. This damn 9-tailed kid, I lost both my hands before, and it hurt me so much. This time I must teach him a lesson. Let him know what real art is, Deidara said with a fierce look on his face. As expected of Deidara-senpai, he is so insidious and cunning. It. I call that resourcefulness. Although the strong bully the weak, and it's not passionate or youthful at all. There is only pain and despair. But I will end the battle in a flash. Empire Lee looked at Orochimaru and his group and spoke slowly. That confident and apologetic look made the sound ninjas even angrier. They stepped forward one by one, wanting to teach Imperial Lie a lesson. Muscle liberation. It was at this moment. Empire Zio Lai shouted. The tight vest he was wearing burst, and his height suddenly increased by several centimeters. The muscles in his arms and legs grew larger and longer. The aura of the whole body changed. Just by looking at it, a group of sound ninjas started to get nervous and stopped in their tracks. This guy, it's just that the muscles have grown a little bigger. It's nothing special. The most important thing for a ninja is ninjutsu. That's right. Who would be afraid of this? Several sound ninjas muttered, regained their confidence, and took another step forward. Next up, Ghost back. Open. Empire Zio Lai turned sideways and roared again. His aura surged again. The muscles on his back twisted and twirled, forming a grimace. Just by looking at it, everyone in Konoha and Sound Ninja felt difficulty breathing. This guy is different now. Is this also martial arts? On the Konoha side, Shikamaru held his chest and struggled. Now he feels like he is looking directly at a natural enemy, which makes people feel uneasy. Yes, this is one of the muscular martial arts, Tang's specialty. Naruto said seriously. Just watch carefully. Tang's martial arts skills are much stronger than Naruto's. Even Orochimaru would never be his opponent. I really didn't expect Tang to be so serious this time. These sound ninjas are going to be in trouble. Kakashi sighed seriously. Is it possible that even the legendary Sannin can't defeat him? Why is Kakashi-sensei so confident? Could it be? Many of Konoha's young warriors were stunned when they thought of this. They thought of the fifth Hokage Tsunade in the village. Thinking about the other party suddenly gathering everyone together to practice martial arts, including himself. Feelings isn't the most fundamental reason because of Naruto, but this Tang? This guy Orochimaru couldn't help but narrow his eyes at this time. His snake instinct told him that the enemy in front of him was very dangerous, and the best way was to run away. But how could he, a dignified Sannin, retreat without a fight? In this world, the only thing he fears is the Sharingan. It's not over yet. The 8 gates of ninjutsu. Open the Kaimen, Seiumen, Shenmen, Shangmen, Dumen, Jingmen, and Jingmen. Empire Little Lie's arms shook. Violent chakra and true energy burst out, soaring straight into the sky. The terrifying airflow raged, causing strong winds to blow hundreds of meters around. The clouds in the sky were turned upside down by this terrifying force. The people from Konoha who were quite close to the Empire's Rock Lee, including Orochimaru, could not help but cover their faces and retreat, their faces full of unconcealable panic and fear. Strange. Monster. Is this guy a monster? What level of chakra is this? Even if it's a tailed beast, it can't be stronger than him, right? Lord Orochimaru, let's retreat. That guy is a monster. A monster. A group of sound ninjas were frightened and screamed in panic. Several even quietly retreated behind everyone else. The Konoha villains were also breathing in one after another at this time. Shikamaru narrowed his eyes and said, I see the invasion of the Kumagakure-tailed beasts that Lady Tsunade mentioned earlier turned out to be the work of Tang. Lady Tsunade fought with Kara. It looks like she lost miserably as expected of Shikamaru. You've already seen it. Yes, it was Tang himself who left the horrific scars on Konoha Forest. Let's retreat first, and talk about it after we withdraw more than 500 meters. It's too dangerous to stay here, Kakashi said, starting to back away. It's really a scary monster. A human being can actually possess such power far away. Deidara and Abido were also shocked. Take that. A serious punch. Zio Lai roared and threw a punch towards the sound ninja. Boom. Exclamation, exclamation, everything in front of Empire Xiaolai was disintegrating and being blasted into dust. This force, which is enough to destroy everything, blasted straight towards Orochimaru and others. Now, Orochimaru's hair stood on end and he felt an unprecedented crisis. I'll die. I'll die. I'll die. If I get hit, I'll die. I need to dodge, but it's too late. Triple Rashomon. Orochimaru bit his finger at the fastest speed in his life and pressed one hand on the ground. Next moment, 3 Rashomons of different colors emerged from the ground. Block before the fist of Empire Xiaolai. Boom. 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 With almost no obstruction, the triple Rashomon was destroyed. The all-destructive fist wind swept over the location of the sound ninjas. Rumble. A hurricane swept in and a mushroom cloud rose. There was a burst of white light in everyone's field of vision, and their eardrums were almost deafened. After a long time, everything is back to normal. The Konoha villains looked ahead in a daze. Page 69. The area where Orochimaru was originally located has long since turned into a huge pit. This pit even caused the lake level behind to drop by more than 10 meters. Such horrific traces of natural disasters have spread for several kilometers, as if it was wiped away by the hand of God. Good on the little who saw the Empire's little lie take action for the first time. All swallowed their saliva wildly. Sure enough, Tang is a monster. The tailed beasts can't possibly be stronger than this monster. Fortunately, Tang is on our side. Why is there such a powerful person in the world? If fail, let's retreat. In the distant sky, Deidara, who saw the scene in front of him, no longer had the slightest bit of pride, but spoke after a long silence. Oh, retreat, let's retreat. Obaido's voice was dry, his heart was twitching constantly, and the Sharingan in his eye sockets was beating restlessly. Monster! Monster! Why on earth did such a monster appear in Konoha? Even if Nagato had Madara's Rinnegan, he wouldn't be able to deal with it, right? No, we must retreat and let Chu collect information about this monster. As long as this monster is around, collecting the 9-tailed fox is impossible. Deidara and Obaido turned around and ran without much hesitation far away. Orochimaru and Kabuto slowly emerged from the ground, looking at the several kilometers of wasteland with cold sweat on their faces. Lord Orochimaru, we should retreat as soon as possible. That guy is simply not a match for human power. What a complete monster. If the triple Rashomon hadn't held off for a moment, I would probably have had to use the reincarnation technique this time. But humans shouldn't have this kind of power. What's going on with that guy? Regardless, this is no longer something I can handle. Next, I will notify Sasuke-kun and Runto-kun. Sharingan versus inhuman power. Which force will be stronger? Orochimaru showed a hint of interest in his eyes. After summoning a small snake, he stuffed the information into the little snake's mouth, and the little snake turned into smoke and disappeared. How the enemy has been dealt with. Now, it's time to capture the 3-tailed beast. Everyone, please wait for me for a moment. Empire Xiaolai exhaled slowly and gave a thumbs up to the people of Konoha in the distance. This originally sunny and cheerful action, in fact, made the hair stand on end. He turned his head again and looked at the lake. Empire Xiaolai yelled, 3-tail, come out, stop hiding. I know you are down there. Do you want to come back with me obediently, or do you want to be beaten up by me? Galulu. A series of bubbles emerged from the surface of the lake. The huge strange face of the 3-tailed beast was revealed, and its only eye was looking at Imperial Xiaolai and the wasteland in front and behind, full of fear and anxiety. Oh my God! Oh Earth! I was just taking a bath in this lake. Who did I offend? Why does everyone want to beat me up? And the monsters appear one after another. In the past, that bastard named Senju Hashirama was like this, and now this other one is also like this. This is simply too much of an insult to the tailed beasts. Old man Liu Dao, don't you care about your descendants? Are we your children anymore? Sanwei was extremely depressed. Seeing that Sanwei didn't answer, Empire's Iolai slowly raised his right fist, as if preparing to attack. Chapter 77, Inhuman Monsters, the Akatsuki Organization Frightened Away. Overhaul 77! Exclamation. See the attitude of Empire's Iolai. Sanwei trembled all over and shouted quickly, Wait. Let's talk it over nicely. I surrender. You can't hit me. I'll go with you. Sanwei said this and lowered his head quickly. The three tails are raised in surrender. Seeing this posture, the people of Konoha in the distance almost dropped their jaws in shock. Three tails can talk. It actually surrendered. It's a tailed beast. It's a terrifying weapon of war. It's the fear of everyone. Sure enough, Tang's power has far surpassed the tailed beasts. Terrible. Is this the power of martial arts? Is it comparable to the power of God? The people in Konoha could not calm down at all. Great. This way we don't have to bully the weak. Then follow me back, Sanwei. Lai grinned and then jumped under the three-tailed beast. Under the stunned gazes of the three tails and the people of Konoha, he directly lifted up the three tails shell with one hand and leaped in front of the people of Konoha. Boom! Exclamation. The ground exploded with a jump from Empire Lai. The people of Konoha were speechless as they looked at the monster that was thousands or tens of thousands times larger than the Empire's Rock Lee, with its limbs facing the sky, being held up and manipulated by it. Let's go. We should go back. This time, Lady Tsunade should be satisfied with my speed in completing the task, right? Empire Little Lai smiled with his big teeth showing. Definitely satisfied. No one can complete the task better than you, Tang Shikamaru said with a stiff expression. As for the three-tailed beast, Tang, are you just going to carry it like this? Don't you need to seal it? Shizune asked, her face pale. Bah. The tailed beasts all hate being sealed. That's very inhumane. So let's just let it go free like this. When we get to Konoha, my friends will be able to make it habitable. Empire's Iolai laughed. Very inhumane? Is your behavior very humane? Holding me up like this. Where is my face as a tailed beast? Sanwei was extremely depressed, but he didn't dare to move. He looked at the sky sadly with his one eye. As for the people of Konoha, they didn't know what to say. They followed Empire's Iolai and started their return journey far away. Orochimaru, Sasuke, and Imperial Obito slowly emerged and looked at Imperial Rock Lee as he left carrying the three tails. Orochimaru said, Aren't you going to chase him? The three-tailed beast will be taken away soon. That guy is from the organization. Sasuke said, his eyes couldn't help but tremble. Just now, he and Imperial Obito received a notice from Orochimaru that someone was trying to steal the three tails and he couldn't deal with it. Sasuke also laughed at Orochimaru's incompetence in his heart. He thought that after he took action himself and defeated the opponent, he would ridicule this useless Orochimaru. The result, who could have imagined? This is such a horrifying scene. Fortunately, after seeing his appearance clearly, Sasuke breathed a sigh of relief. This guy was a member of his own organization. What? People from the organization? Orochimaru asked in surprise. Yes, the people from the organization. There are 3 of us coming to Konoha. Now the three-tail has been captured. After we extract its power, if you want to visit the Empire, you can come with us. Now, let's go back. After saying this, Imperial Obito took Sasuke and left. Only Orochimaru's cold snake eyes were left flickering. Sure enough, an organization that can coexist with a strong man like Uchiha Runtu. The people in it are all monsters, haha. This guy must be a product of biotechnology, right? I'm really curious about how far the Empire's biotechnology has progressed. If I join them, can I also enjoy this rite of transformation? Konoha. It was only 2 or 3 days before Naruto and the others left the village. The whole village is as peaceful as ever. The guards were lazy and the village was quiet and peaceful until one of the Konoha guards yawned. and when he saw an extremely huge monster approaching with 3 tails erect, he screamed in fear, "Oh no! Oh no! There's a monster! The monster is coming! Damn it! That's a tailed beast! The tailed beasts are invading Konoha!" The 2 ninjas guarding the gate roared and fired signal and warning bombs into the sky. Page 70. Soon, the whole Konoha became tense. Almost all the ninjas, including Tsunade, came to the gate of Konoha and looked at the approaching huge 3 tails with some horror. It's really the tailed beasts. The tailed beasts are invading again. Damn it! Who brought the tailed beasts to our Konoha? It must be Kumagakure. They wanted to use the 8 tails to destroy Konoha before. Damn it! They can't succeed. Lady Tsunade is still here. Hurry! Don't let the tailed beast get close to the village. Let's go out and get rid of it together. A group of Konoha ninjas yelled. Tsunade couldn't help but frown. What's going on? There seems to be something wrong with this 3-tailed fish. It is upside down. And this time I sent Tang to capture the 3-tailed beast. With his strength, there is no way he would fail. But no matter what, just don't let the tailed beasts get close to the village. Tsunade thought about it and quickly went forward with a group of ninjas. However, the closer they got, the more the group of Konoha ninjas felt something was wrong. Especially some of the sharp-eyed ninjas, after seeing the people around the inverted-tailed beast that's Naruto, Kakashi, Sakura, Shikamaru and the others. Weren't they sent out on a mission by Lady Tsunade? Why were they with the 3 tails? This can't be. The Konoha ninjas were filled with confusion. Until you get closer. Only then did they realize that there seems to be someone under Sanway. Someone is walking with the 3 tails in hand? But how is this possible? This kind of monster is not something a human can lift, but other than that, why is this 3-tailed creature like this? Strange, very strange. Forget it, I can't figure it out at all. I'd better wait until Kakashi, Naruto, and the others come and ask them. Everyone, we're back. Ino from a distance began to wave to everyone in Konoha. Mission accomplished. 3 tails, we brought back Lady Tsunade, Yada shouted with a big laugh. Until finally, when the 2 sides really got close, everyone then realized that the person walking with the 3 tails in his hand was actually a person. This person is Tang, the one who has been exercising with them, and is as cheerful and frivolous as Kai and Xiao Lai. This made everyone gasp. Kai was so excited that he was trembling all over and said, "Burning. Burning. Burning. It's burning. This is youth. This is passion. Is this the limit of martial arts? This is amazing. Ah, so touching. It's so touching to be able to see such a powerful martial art and learn such a powerful martial art. Teacher Kai. Brother Tang. I feel like I've arrived in heaven. Ha ha ha. This is far from the limit of martial arts. Boss Kai. Brother Lai. But it's right to burn your blood and youth. Oh 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 oh. Empire's Rock Lee threw the 3 tails to the ground, then quickly rushed to Ninja World's Kai and Rock Lee. The 3 of them hugged each other, moved to tears. When the people around him saw this, their eyes twitched. These 3 guys, by the way, did Orochimaru get killed? Where's Sasuke? Tsunade asked at this time. Sasuke is not with Orochimaru. Naruto's already somewhat powerless expression became even more powerless. Orochimaru should be killed. He was hit by Tang's full-strength punch, Kakashi said. Tsunade nodded. In my heart, Stinky Snake, you were hit by a punch from this monster Tang. Let's see if you can survive this time. By the way, why isn't the 3 tails sealed? The disturbance caused this time was not small. Tsunade asked again. Because Tang felt that sealing the tailed beasts was somewhat inhumane, so it was left like this. He also said that his partner could solve the problem later. Kakashi spread his hands. Ah, I almost forgot something. After hearing what Kakashi said, Empire Lee finally reacted. He glanced at the crowd for a moment, his eyes lit up, and he said, "Runto. Come quickly, Sanwei will be in your hands next." Everyone followed his gaze and looked. Suddenly, they saw the Imperial Abido and the disguised Sasuke walking slowly towards them. "I see." Imperial Abido nodded slightly, revealed his Manjikayo, and glared at the three tails. Then, under the surprised gaze of everyone in Konoha, the originally huge body of the three-tailed beast began to shrink continuously. After a while, it became the size of a human fist. Smaller. How did you do that? Does the Sharingan have this ability? Many people asked in surprise. The disguised Sasuke also said, "Is this your kaleidoscope ability?" "No, it's just a normal jutsu that targets the tailed beasts." The tailed beasts, after all, are just life forms that are a collection of energy. You can zoom in or out, actually. Imperial Abido explained. With a squeeze of his right hand, the little three-tail flew into his hand. Several women nearby looked at the little Sanwei with sparkling eyes. The tailed beasts have become smaller, they're unexpectedly cute. "Can we touch it?" As he said this, he also touched Sanwei. In this regard, Three Tails remained silent. In the past few days, its dignity as a tailed beast has been shattered. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this is the fate of us tailed beasts. We are either caught like a chicken using a wooden man, or stuffed into someone's stomach, or turned upside down and unable to move, and then shrunk and held in someone's hand. What are you going to do with the three tails next? Tsunade took a breath, calmed herself down, and asked. According to the agreement, naturally, let Mr. Hokage visit our country. A voice sounded from behind everyone. Really? I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Tsunade turned her head and looked at Imperial Neji, then spoke after a moment of silence. I will definitely not let His Excellency the Hokage down. Imperial Neji finally said this, taking the Three Tails doll and leaving. Inside the Imperial Trio's apartment, the image of the thousand-armed heavenly being slowly disappeared. Imperial Ningsai looked at Sasuke and said, Your Majesty has agreed. Next, you can go to the Empire with Tsunade and Orochimaru. I see, Sasuke said softly. There was still a lingering shock in his eyes. What did he see just now? The monster known as the Divine Emperor was actually dragging several mountains to exercise his body. What a monster this is. It seems that Sai from the Empire and he are nothing insignificant. The Empire is so terrifying, it turned out that I made the right decision to join them. And the Uchiha of the Empire, what are they doing now? Sasuke felt curious and excited. He did not ask the Imperial Trio directly, but prepared to witness it with his own eyes in a few days. Although not as many as the first day it was released, at least 7K words were updated today. Is that considered diligent? Chapters 78.74, 75, 76 and have been overhauled to speed up the theme. Chapters 74, 75, 76 and have been overhauled to speed up the theme. As the title says, many people say that I have strayed from the topic. When I think about it carefully, it seems to be true. Recently I have been obsessed with describing the training and progress of everyone in Konoha, which is obviously wrong. The main content of this book should be the Empire, using the power of the Empire to compete and fight against the ninja world. So after much reflection, I abolished the few remaining manuscripts and made some corrections. As for 74, the beginning is still the original version, but the middle part begins to be revised and Empire Xiaolai joins the team. 75 and 76 have been completely revised, and the next chapter will also go directly to the topic. 79. Chapter 78, Entering the Empire, page 71. 79. Hokage's office building. Tsunade sat on the chair, looking ahead solemnly. Standing there were Kakashi, Kai, Shikaku, Akimichi Chosa, Yamanaka Inoichi, Shikamaru, Naruto, Sakura, Sai, Rock Lee, Tenten, Chodi, Yamato and other elite ninjas of Konoha. I think you all understood what I just said. Tsunade said. We understood, but it's still a little hard to believe. Shikamaru smiled bitterly. That's right, Lady Tsunade. What's the other world you're talking about? Tang, Ninji, and Runtuar Neji, and Abido from another world. Isn't this too incredible? Ino complained. It's unbelievable, but the expressions of Kakashi and Shikaku tell me that they probably believe it. So I believe it too, said Yamanaka High. I didn't expect that lie from another world is so strong. This is youth. This is martial arts. I'm burning, Kai shouted excitedly. I want to be as strong as my other self. I want to practice martial arts. Master Kai, I want to run around Konoha 100 times right now. Xiao Lai said excitedly. Ah, let's run. Lai. Kai raised his fist and prepared to go out. Hey, Lee. You two should be quiet for a moment. Lady Tsunade hadn't finished her words yet. We all still have a lot to say. Kakashi on the side couldn't stand this master and disciple pair and couldn't help rolling his eyes. Ah, sorry, I couldn't help myself. Guy apologized quickly. But Lady Tsunade didn't tell us at first, but now she's telling us. Do you have any plans? Kyudeading's said thoughtfully at this time. I think everyone heard the conversation between Lady Tsunade and Imperial Neji earlier, right? Shikaku said at this time. Lady Tsunade is going to the Empire, to another world. Yamanaka Inoichi recalled for a while and said in disbelief. Everyone else looked shocked. Yes, the people of the Empire possess incredible technology that can use the power of the tailed beasts to travel through time. I'm going to take a look at the Empire. But I'm afraid that I might fall into an illusion, so I will ask them to open the video communication between the two time and space. Then, along the way, I will continue to communicate with you using secret codes to ensure my own safety and autonomy. Only then can we truly determine whether the Empire's message is true. Tsunade said solemnly. So Lady Tsunade has considered this. Everyone then nodded in understanding. Lord Tsunade, can I go with you? Kakashi said at this time. Kakashi, you? I have the Sharingan, which makes me more resistant to illusions and can protect Lady Tsunade, Kakashi said. Me. I also want to see another world and see myself in that world. Yas suddenly raised his hand excitedly. Now that you mention it, I really want to go and see what I am like in another world. I want to go too. The Konoha villains suddenly became energetic and shouted loudly. Shut up. Do you think we are going on a trip this time? This time it is a matter of life and death for Konoha and even the entire ninja world. Tsunade raised her eyebrows and shouted coldly. Finally, the group of who wanted to join in the fun calmed down. Another hidden cave. Abido leaned against a rock with a gloomy look, staring at Zetsu in front of him. So you don't know where that guy came from? I'm just the embodiment of Madara's will. I am not an omnipotent god, so it's normal that I don't know, right? But give me some time, and I will find out everything. There was no change in Juhai's face, and his voice was a little low. You'd better hurry up, otherwise our plan may be affected. Abido said a little worriedly. Are you scared, Abido? Is it just a taijutsu that scares you so much? Humph. You should have seen the power of that punch, right? Is that the power a human can possess? It's really strong. But Madara was stronger in his prime, so don't worry, Abido. Our plan cannot fail. Zetsu comforted Abido, then slowly sank into the ground and disappeared. The next day early morning. The gate of Konoha. The Konoha ninjas looked at the two imperial duo with complicated expressions. Among the trio, Abido was nowhere to be seen. Xiao Lai and Kai kept giving thumbs up to Empire Xiao Lai. This made Empire Lai a little confused, and he kept giving thumbs up in response. From this look, you seem to know everything? Imperial Ninji glanced at the Konoha ninjas and said with some surprise at their abnormal behavior. Ah, I see. Another me. Ninja World Ningji responded with a complicated expression. HMPH. I didn't expect that the Hokage had been keeping it a secret before, but suddenly told them now. What new plan does he have? Said Ningji of the Empire. You mentioned to me before that you have a video device that can communicate across time and space. Tsunade paused here. The Empire's Neji showed a look of realization. I see you are really cautious. But it's okay. That's good. Tsunade exhaled. By the way, Kakashi will go to the Empire with me. Kakashi? He's very weak, not even a cage. It will not have any impact on the road, no problem. Imperial Ningji said directly. Hey, what you said, Neji-kun, is really hurtful. Kakashi rolled his eyes helplessly. Teacher Kakashi is being despised. Is Neji from another world very strong? Kiba asked curiously. He is very strong. It is said that he is only slightly weaker than Rock Lee from another world. Tsunade said. Little lie from another world. When everyone heard this, they swallowed their saliva again. His gaze involuntarily turned to Empire's Io Lie. Yo! Empire Little Lie grinned. Everyone shuddered and turned their eyes away. That is also a monster, Shikamaru muttered. Monster? We don't dare to call ourselves that. It's just that you are too weak, that makes us look strong. Imperial Neji said. What you mean is that there are many people in the Empire who are stronger than you? Even Xiao Lai? Shikamaru said of course. Imperial Neji nodded without hesitation. Ha, that's really scary. Shikamaru raised his hands helplessly. The Hyuga clan in the other world, are they okay? Neji asked at this time. I'm not interested in answering that question. If you want to know, let the Hokage show you then. Well, we should set off now. Imperial Neji showed little interest and turned away. Tsunade took Kakashi with her, waved to everyone and left. The three of them flew all the way towards the Dragon Vein and soon disappeared completely from the sight of everyone in Konoha. While running, Tsunade asked, You're the only one escorting us this time? Where's Abido? That guy will show up soon, you don't have to worry. Imperial Ningji replied. The three left the Fire Country and came to the ruins of Lulan covered with yellow sand. Far away, Tsunade and Kakashi saw four blurry figures in the yellow sand. This is? We're finally here. You're a little too slow. A cold voice came from a distance. Kakashi's pupils couldn't help but shrink. Page 72. Is that voice Sasuke? Is this Kakashi? The voice from the other side sounded again. Kakashi and Tsunade's speed increased rapidly, breaking through the heavy yellow sand and arriving in front of the four figures. Orochimaru, you're not dead. Sasuke, it's you. And Kabuto Yakashi, Tsunade and Kakashi exclaimed. It's been a while, Tsunade. Why are you so surprised to see me still alive? Orochimaru stuck out his tongue and wanted to lick his lips, but ended up getting a mouthful of yellow sand. His expression changed and he retracted his tongue. Kakashi, you don't seem to have made any progress. You have the Sharingan but are so weak. You are such a pathetic fellow. Sasuke looked at Kakashi with a haughty look on his face. It's amazing that Kakashi-kun still remembers the name of a small person like me. Kabuto pushed his glasses and smiled. Orochimaru, how could you still be alive after being hit by that monster? Tsunade said in disbelief. You're talking about that I almost died, Abido-kun. We are all family after all. Why is Lai Jun still so reckless when he attacks? Orochimaru complained a little. That guy is just like that. He is stubborn and often forgets the real thing when his blood boils. Neji walked over slowly and spoke softly. If you die, just blame yourself for being too weak, Orochimaru. Sasuke said with contempt. Have you joined the Empire? You really are worthy of being here, Orochimaru, Tsunade whispered. So it seems that Sasuke has joined as well. Kakashi also said. Humph. The Empire can give me the power to defeat Itachi. I live to kill that guy. Sasuke said. Okay, let's stop reminiscing about the past. Next, let's go to the Dragon Vein together. I will open the Dragon Vein gate for you. Imperial Neji urged. Everyone entered the Dragon Vein. Neji took out the three tails that looked like a doll and began to make hand seals. Soon after, a green light shot straight into the sky. The figures of Orochimaru, Tsunade, Kakashi, Sasuke, and Kabuto slowly disappeared. Exclamation, exclamation, Empire. Dragon Vein Fortress. Green light burst out. The figures of the 5 ninjas slowly emerged. Hey, everyone is finally here. A vibrant and sunny voice rang in the ears of the 5 people. Let them open their eyes slowly. Next moment, Orochimaru, Tsunade, and Kakashi's pupils contracted violently. Teacher Kakashi's voice trembled. Minato-kun, Orochimaru whispered. Minato. Tsunade had a complicated expression. Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage? Sasuke muttered. It's such an honor. I've just arrived in this world and I've met the 4th Hokage. Kabuto pushed up his glasses. Is Minato-kun the one who will be responsible for receiving us this time? Orochimaru smiled, his snake eyes scanning the surroundings. 80. Chapter 79. The Military Deterrence from the Empire. 80. He saw a group of guards wearing black windbreakers. Each of them was very strong. The shortest was about 1.8 meters tall, while the tallest was 1.9 meters or even 2 meters tall. Yes, I was notified that you would be arriving. I volunteered to ask your majesty to be your guide. Welcome, Orochimaru-kun, Princess Tsunade, Kakashi-kun, Sasuke-kun, and Kabuto-kun. Welcome to the Shenwu Empire. I am Minato Namikaze, the captain of the Imperial Guard of the Shenwu Empire. Minato smiled brightly. Ah, it's an honor, Captain Minato. Orochimaru smiled politely. Others responded one by one. Minato, do you have a space-time communicator with you? I need to keep in touch with everyone in Konoha. Tsunade suddenly said at this time. Oh. Minato was stunned and the smile on his face became even brighter, of course. As he spoke, he fiddled with the time communicator in his space ring for a while. Immediately, a curtain of light unfolds. Ninja World. Konoha. Empire's Iolai was surrounded by a group of people, and each of them was looking at the communication device in front of him with anticipation. Until it starts to flash green light. Empire's Iolai gently pressed a button. A curtain of light unfolds. The figures of Orochimaru, Tsunade, Kakashi, Sasuke, Kabuto, and Minato appeared in front of everyone. For a moment, everyone in Konoha exclaimed, Minato-senpai, the 4th Hokage, Minato-sama, Sasuke, Orochimaru, Tsunade-sama. Among the series of exclamations, Minato-sentai, the 4th Hokage, and Lord Minato appeared the most frequently. Ahaha. Sorry, I'm not the 4th Hokage that everyone is familiar with. I am Minato Namikaze, the captain of the Imperial Guard of the Shenwu Empire. Imperial Minato in the light curtain apologized with deep regret. Then he glanced at Naruto from the corner of his eye and smiled. Naruto-chan, is life going well back in Konoha? Hearing this, many ninjas' hearts skipped a beat. Minato and Naruto from another world have met each other. Does he know everything? Uncle Minato, I am living well in Konoha. But the Orochimaru and Sasuke beside you, are they from our world? Naruto replied first, then looked at Orochimaru and Sasuke in confusion and asked. That's right, this is Orochimaru-kun and Sasuke-kun from your world, Naruto-kun. Minato smiled and nodded. Hey, long time no see, the last one. Sasuke said coldly. Is this Sasuke-kun? I haven't seen him for more than 3 years. You're getting more and more handsome. Oh no, I can't control myself. Ino covered her chest with one hand, looking drooling. Sasuke-kun, Sakura murmured with nostalgia. Sasuke, why did you go to the Empire with Grandma Tsunade and Kakashi? Naruto asked in a daze. HMPH. I joined the Empire a long time ago, so isn't it normal for me to come and visit? Sasuke sneered. Join the Empire? Naruto was stunned, then he scratched his head and suddenly laughed. That's great. If you join the Empire, we can team up together again in the future. What nonsense are you talking about? Strong people will only team up with strong people. Who would team up with a loser like you? Damn Sasuke. Naruto gritted his teeth, but his expression was surprisingly better. Even Sakura couldn't help but let out a small smile. They both subconsciously think of themselves as Imperials. Noticing this, Ino Shikachu and many other ninjas changed their expressions slightly. Empire. Tsunade, who had just exchanged secret codes with Shikaku, rolled her eyes and said, Minato, please show us around. I don't think our space is limited to this, right? Of course, Princess Tsunade. Imperial Minato nodded. Then he left the steel fortress and came to the outside world. The full picture of the ancient town of Lulan in the Empire was also presented to all the people of Konoha for the first time. Looking at the scene of tall buildings, looking at the beautiful clothes on people, and their happy smiles, everyone in Konoha couldn't help but sigh that the Empire's social development and people's living standards were far above those of Konoha and even the entire ninja world. This is not something that can be impersonated casually. Tsunade, Kakashi, Shikaku, and other people who are always skeptical, their level of belief in the affairs of the Empire has increased to more than 90%. Minato-kun, the living standards of the people in the Empire are certainly far superior to those in the ninja world. But what attracts me the most is always the powerful force and unknown science. Page 73. Abido-kun invited me to join the Empire and said that the Empire has everything I want. Orochimaru licked his lips. Ah, of course, for talent like Orochimaru-kun that even His Majesty values, we will of course take you to see things that interest you. But before that, maybe we can take a look at the training of the Imperial soldiers. I wonder if Orochimaru-kun and Princess Tsunade are interested in this. Minato said with a smile means something. Is it coming? The Empire's military threat. Do they want us to surrender obediently? Tsunade's heart skipped a beat. Of course, force is also something I'm interested in. Orochimaru nodded. Imperial soldiers? What's so interesting about a group of soldiers training? Sasuke was somewhat disdainful of this. Kakashi said, Captain Minato, I heard that the Empire's soldiers are all as strong as me and there are 1,000,000 of them. Ah. This how could it be? How strong are the Imperial soldiers compared to you, Kakashi-kun? No one can know without a fight. Don't listen to some people's nonsense. Imperial Minato smiled awkwardly when he heard what Kakashi said. Sasuke and Orochimaru's eyes changed slightly. Ninja World, Konoha. A group of ninjas were also shocked. That's impossible. 1,000,000, Kakashi-sensei? If there were 1,000,000 of these, it would be too scary. Compared to this, Konoha is no different from a remote mountain village. This must be intimidation. Many ninjas were talking about it. A figure wrapped in bandages appeared at this time. He pushed through the crowd and appeared at the front of the time-space instrument. He said, What empire, what other world, it's nothing but an illusion and a trick. Thinking of using this to intimidate Konoha and make it submit to you is simply wishful thinking. 1,000,000 Kakashis. 1,000,000 elite jonin. With such strength, what conspiracy or trickery do you need? The entire ninja world will be yours. Danzo yelled. The expressions of the surrounding ninjas changed slightly. Ah, are you Danzo? Yes, reasonable suspicion is necessary. But our empire will prove all your doubts one by one. As for why he is so friendly to Konoha, of course it's because the empire also evolved from Konoha. It's just that people are reluctant to attack and kill indiscriminately. If it were any other ninja village, the empire wouldn't have so many concerns. Minato heard the voice coming from the instrument, looked at the image of Danzo himself. and nodded slightly. Then the force of space around him fluctuated. Everyone just felt the surroundings flashing. Then they came to the suburbs. Here, two groups of people were engaged in a fierce battle. One group, at least 200 people, skillfully used the 6 martial arts moves, with blades of finger guns and storm kicks flying everywhere and their figures flickering, demonstrating superb combat qualities. The other group was a series of colorful streams of light. These streams of light were like dragons, dodging the attacks in groups under the encirclement of air blades, finger guns, and even 200 people. From time to time, he would pass by these masters of the 6 styles, and their bodies would splatter with blood and they would fall from the sky wailing shhhhhh. Red meteors shot out from the colorful light. Blast those who are proficient in the 6 styles deep into the ground. This is not an equal battle. It only took a few minutes. 206 styles proficient users fell to the ground, and medical ninjas appeared one after another to treat them. The colorful streams of light stopped flying and revealed their original appearance. They were metal puppets about 3 meters tall, with wings of light on their backs and lightsabers in their hands. Watching this battle, everyone in Konoha changed color. Those martial arts masters were defeated so easily. These martial arts masters all look very strong, but compared to their speed and the power of their moves, I am not as good as them. Hugh Daedingsuo looked at the space-time communicator solemnly and said bitterly, "Is this the so-called 1 of a million Kakashi? Even if there are only 200, it's already terrifying." Lu Jiudao. 200 elite Jonin, are you kidding me, Tsunade? Are you sure what you showed us is real? Danzo asked with some disbelief. It has been confirmed that Lady Tsunade is in good condition now, Shikaku said again. Danzo couldn't help but remain silent. The fighting power of 200 Kakashi-class warriors, even if this was the entire force of whatever empire was using to deal with them, it was not to be underestimated. What's more, there are those puppets that are suppressing the elite Jonin. Those things are truly terrifying. What is unfolding before our eyes is enough to easily destroy Konoha. Perhaps the 5 major ninja villages will need to work together to respond. How terrible. What are those puppets? Just when everyone was puzzled about this, Orochimaru asked with glowing eyes. That's a small humanoid mobile weapon. You can also understand it as an armed puppet. Every soldier who masters driving skills can use it to gain the power of a shadow level. Minato explained with a smile. The power of a cage? Then these 10 crosses are 10 cages. What a terrifying skill. Orochimaru said scary things, but his eyes became more and more excited. It's impressive, but it doesn't scare me. After all, I have seen far greater powers before, and these powers alone are not enough to conquer the ninja world. Tsunade suppressed her palpitations and spoke calmly, as expected of Princess Tsunade. However, the battle exercise I am taking you to see is more than just this coming. Imperial Minato said this with a smile, then looked up with a serious expression. Tsunade, Orochimaru, Sasuke and others also looked up, as well as the instrument camera held in Kabuto's arms. Only above the clouds. A loud roar sounded. Blue dragon scale. A pale white beam of light tore through the clouds and descended from the sky 1 kilometer away from the crowd. A huge mushroom cloud rose up and a strong hurricane hit, making people 1 kilometer away feel the strong wind on their faces. What is that? Susanoo? Du's voice was trembling. I saw it above the broken clouds. A huge human-shaped puppet with light blue as the main tone and white spikes on all the joints has flames burning in its palms, and a huge energy impact is emitted from it the other side. A huge puppet with blue as the main color and black as the edges and barbs on the joints, flashing continuously with layers of phantoms. A pale white beam of light followed the giant puppet, sweeping across the ground, creating a ditch tens of meters deep and several kilometers long. This attack is useless against me, Kankuro. A plain female voice came from the huge black puppet. Temari, don't be too proud. This is just an appetizer. How about this move? The black tortoise diamond bullet. The puppet with white spikes spoke again. Swing your right arm back. The right fist began to spin wildly, and the terrifying flames dragged a tail flame hundreds of meters long behind the fist. With a terrifying roar, it tore through the atmosphere and blasted towards the black puppet. 81. Chapter 80. Meeting of People from Konoha in Two Worlds. 81. Good. But my soul slayer is not afraid of this kind of move. Temari's voice rang out. The giant puppet instantly drew the sword from its waist, and a violent hurricane shot out, blowing away the clouds for thousands of meters around. Wind blade flash. The huge puppet waved the sword in its hand, and in the eyes of everyone in Konoha, it turned into countless afterimages. Sasuke's eyes widened, and even with his Mangekyo dome at full power, he could only see a blur. Countless violent wind blades were generated every time the sword was swung, but because the speed was too fast and the time was too short, none of them shot out till the end. The giant puppet stabbed straight ahead with its sharp sword. Hurry up! A tornado that pierced the sky and the earth whizzed towards the spinning fist fired by Kinkuro as he stabbed forward. The two collided. It's like two different worlds collided together. The shock wave dispersed the clouds within a dozen kilometers around on the ground. Page 74. The 5 members of Konoha only felt the strong wind blowing on their faces, and even felt a slight pain. They gently stroked their painful cheeks and discovered that their faces were actually cut by the storm 7 or 8 kilometers away. It's not over yet. Kankuro yelled again. The huge puppet flew towards the higher sky. The flying fist that was originally in a stalemate with the storm seemed to be summoned and instantly flew towards the giant puppet. Until with a bang, the flying fist returned to the right arm of the giant puppet. Soul Reaper. Full engines. The giant puppet's fists collided and azure flames burst out, and the next moment, his fists turned into afterimages, violently hitting the air in front of him. Huge light bombs with a diameter of several meters, dragging long tails of flames like meteorites, bombarded Temari. The puppet driven by Temari also turned into afterimages, dodging at a speed that exceeded the limit of the average person's retina. Huge light bombs streaked across the sky, pierced through the afterimages, and finally fell into a mountain range more than 10 kilometers away. Rumble. Mushroom clouds exploded one after another, and the air waves rose. The mountains were gradually flattened at a speed visible to the naked eye. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Code name, Kirin. Kankuro roared, and the spikes on the joints of the giant puppet burst out with strong light, and a lightsaber extending 100 meters long went straight towards the puppet driven by Temari. Well done, Soul Slayer. Restrictions lifted. Full power. Temari yelled as well. The huge puppet's eyes glowed red, and the next moment, it turned into a stream of light and burst out boom. In the blink of an eye, the two streams of light crossed a distance of more than 10 kilometers, collided with each other, and then continued to separate and collide boom. Boom, boom, boom. The horrible roar continued and moved. Gradually, the clouds covering a radius of tens, dozens, and hundreds of kilometers were dispersed. This continuous attack strength is far beyond the tailed beasts. The group of ninjas watching through the communicator had gloomy expressions. Just now, if I heard correctly, those two guys were calling each other Temari and Kankuro. They seem to be the older sister and brother of Kazekigahara, someone said tremblingly. It seems it is indeed them. Are Temari and Kankuro in that world so strong? This is no longer something Shadow can match. Is this considered a puppet? You must be kidding, it's like the gods are fighting. Temari Shikamaru murmured as he listened to the fearful voices of the people around him. He thought back to the Chunin exam 3 years ago. Fortunately, what I encountered was not as powerful as the one in front of me. Otherwise, I'm afraid the grass on my grave would be 3 meters high. Such a scary woman. What kind of monster will she marry in the future? It's scary to think about it. This isn't some god. It's a super mobile suit developed by the Imperial Mobile Suit Research Department. King Kuro pilots a super robot called Soul Reaper, and Temari pilots a super robot called Soul Slayer. Empire's Io Lai, who had remained silent all this time, explained to everyone. The power of technology? It's really amazing. So how many super robots of this level do you have in your empire? Orochimaru asked with interest as he listened to the voice coming from the other side of the space-time communicator. This is the latest model of the Super Robot series of the Shenwu Empire. It can synchronize and amplify the driver's spiritual power and martial arts kai to fight. To pilot a super robot of this level, the driver's physical fitness and mental strength are quite high, therefore, there are only 15 in the entire empire at present. Imperial Minato took over the conversation and said with a little regret. 15. Tsunade Konoha took a depressed breath and felt a tightness in her chest. 15? Ridiculous. A monster of this level. If it doesn't have any particular weaknesses. I'm afraid just one of these machines could destroy Konoha. A terrifying thing of this level can never exist. This is fake. At this time, Danzo shouted in a loud voice, causing everyone to look at him sideways. Fake? Impossible. We and Lady Tsunade Jikaku wanted to explain. Danzo interrupted confidently, Humph. I once followed the first Hokage into battle. Know best what the strongest combat power in the ninja world is. These two super robots already possess power comparable to that of the first Hokage. This is simply impossible. The first generation is the god of ninjas, the strongest person in the ninja world since its birth. If he wants, he can even unify the ninja world. There is no way in this world there could be a ninja stronger than the first generation. So fake, Minato. You've gone too far with this move. I've seen through your tricks. This is it because it's too powerful that you can't accept reality. I was originally planning to introduce the Empire slowly. It seems I went too far. Imperial Minato smiled awkwardly when he heard Danzo's words. But it doesn't matter. Everyone still has a lot of time to get to know everything about the Empire. Now, please follow me to meet His Majesty. After Minato finished speaking, he had no intention of staying here any longer. The force of space around me fluctuates. Everyone disappeared from the spot again and appeared in a sky temple shrouded in clouds and mist. In the very center of the temple, sitting on the throne, was a man over 3 meters tall, with a rough look and messy long hair. The masculine aura is as deep as the ocean, vast and boundless. Just saw its figure. Orochimaru's body couldn't help but tremble wildly. The snake's sense of danger made him feel as if he had seen the most horrifying scene. Everything in front of me was disappearing, and the blood turned into the earth. Countless skeletons are floating up and down. The ghosts of the dead are wandering and howling. The figure on the throne was as dark as ink, and it was impossible to see directly with the naked eye. This guy is much stronger than everyone he has met before, including that monstrous Imperial Zio Lai. All people and he are not creatures from the same dimension. If there is a god in the world, it must be this one. I'm hungry. My body and my mind can no longer bear it. Everything in front of me is blurry. Orochimaru gradually felt difficulty breathing and became dizzy. Although the others were not as sensitive as Orochimaru, they also felt the terror of the Senju avatar and covered their chests and gasped heavily. Orochimaru-kun. Minato patted Orochimaru's back gently, and a simple ceiling pattern spread out behind him. Finally, Orochimaru's abnormal perception disappeared. He looked at the man on the throne with cold sweat on his forehead, his mouth dry, but at the same time he felt inexplicably excited. Your Majesty, here come the distinguished guests. Minato bowed respectfully. Welcome. Tsunade, Orochimaru, Sasuke, Kakashi, and Kabuto from Konoha, the ninja world. The man on the throne spoke gently. Are you the Emperor of the Shenwu Empire? You are such a powerful man just by looking at him. Konoha. Tsunade breathed a sigh of relief and praised. Powerful? That's just a relative state, said Senju Tianren. Do you mean we are too weak? Tsunade said. You can think so. That's so sorry. After all, we don't have another Senju avatar to invent martial arts. Tsunade shrugged. Sasuke, the ninja next to him, glanced to the left and right of the throne. When he saw a man who looked very similar to Uchiha Itachi in his memory among a group of people wearing Uchiha clan uniforms, he was stunned. Hatred and complexity flashed in his eyes. When Imperial Itachi saw Sasuke's gaze, he just nodded slightly. Imperial Fugaku and Shisui beside him showed a hint of complexity and pity. At this time, the ninja world's Orochimaru was also looking at the people on both sides of the throne. When he saw his other self, he suddenly became interested. They admired each other and looked at each other's bodies. As for Kakashi, he looked at the two white-haired men in a daze. They also had a short sword on their backs at the same time. The people of Konoha in another world were already in an uproar. Another Tsunade-sama. I saw another Tsunade-sama. I saw another Kakashi-sensei. He looked really energetic. That's another Orochimaru. He's just as sinister and terrifying. Jiraiya-sama. It looks so sunny. That's Konoha White Fang. Master Headache Sumo. That's Itachi, the traitorous ninja. Uchiha Shisui. It's Uchiha Shisui. Chief Fugaku. Chief of the Rizu clan. Page 75. Kushina-sama. Teacher Asuma. Series of exclamations came one after another. The people of Konoha looked extremely excited. But soon, someone discovered something was wrong. Shikamaru frowned and said, "The people who can appear here should be the high-ranking officials or key personnel of the Empire, right? But why is there no sign of the third-generation master? Has the third-generation master of the Empire already retired?" Hearing this question, Tsunade, Kakashi and some people who knew the truth from Konoha couldn't help but feel their eyes twitching wildly. Oops, Shikamaru, this brat really keeps talking about things that are not relevant to the topic. You old bastard. Third generation, sir, I'm afraid your reputation is no longer safe. Shikamaru from another world. Let me answer this question. Standing to the left of the thousand-handed heavenly man, a man with a mustache and a ponytail stepped forward and said, 82. Chapter 81. 1 month's different world's own invitation 82. You are me from another world. Konoha's Narashikaku frowned. The father from another world. He looks very strong because he practices martial arts, Shikamaru muttered. That's right. I am Narashikaku of the Empire. The man who stood out nodded and continued, the so-called third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Because he adhered to the old system and resisted the liberation of the Empire, he was finally killed by the liberation hero Asuma Sarutobi. Imperial history will forever place Sarutobi Hiruzen on the pillar of shame in history. Wah! What? The third Hokage is really dead? Stick to the old system and resist the Empire's liberation? Killed by the liberation hero Sarutobi Asuma. Isn't Asuma the son of the third Hokage? How could he do such a thing? In Konoha, a group of people shouted in disbelief, looking at a man who looked very similar to Asuma on their side, but was stronger and had a thicker beard. A pregnant woman even stood up and said, Asuma, although he may not be very reliable at times, he is definitely not a patricidal bastard like Uchiha Itachi. He was a man who loved his family deeply. Teacher Hong. Hong, why are you here when you're still pregnant? Hong, why don't you take good care of yourself when you're pregnant, but come here to join in the fun? Go back now. When a group of people saw this person, they all moved away and were a little surprised. Hongdu even grabbed her hand and wanted to take her back. But Yuhai Kurenai ignored Hongdu. His eyes were fixed on Imperial Asuma. Humph. Asuma of the Empire snorted coldly and said with some disdain, You are a ninja. What do you know? Sarutobi Hiruzen prevented the Empire from liberating the world, preventing everyone from living a happy life, and supporting the daimyo. He is simply an unforgivable sinner. He is the sinner of the entire Sarutobi clan. Everyone has the right to kill him. I was able to kill him because of God. It was the opportunity given by His Majesty. Uchiha Itachi from your world, do you think he is worthy of competing with me? I am a warrior who has been awarded the title of Liberation Hero by His Majesty. You, how can you say such a thing? No matter what, the third generation is still your father. Konoha's Kurenai Yuhai trembled and pointed to the image of Imperial Asuma. It is because of him that I feel ashamed of my father. If the Empire hadn't banned the random use of Impure World reincarnation, I would have summoned that bastard out and let every member of the Sarutobi clan kill him once. This bastard. He almost destroyed the Sarutobi clan. He is a sinner for all eternity. Imperial Asuma shouted. Beside him, several other bearded men raised their right fists and shouted, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Everyone must kill him. He is a sinner for all eternity. His death does not deserve any pity. When the ninja world's Kurenai Yuhai heard this, her face turned red and she wanted to say something. Imperial Asuma shouted again, Shut up, Yuhai Kurenai. Even if you are Uchiha Shisui's woman, you are not qualified to talk to me in this tone. That's not right. You are Yuhai Kurenai from another world. Shisui from another world seems to have died a long time ago. At the end of his speech, Asuma of the Empire looked strange and curious. So whose baby is this in your belly? Standing up so excitedly, could it be me in that world? I heard that I in that world is already dead. When the other Imperial people heard this, their expressions also became strange. What? The husband of Kurenai Yuhai in another world is Uchiha Shisui. Hong is several years older than Shisui, right? How come the two of them are in that world? The old red cow eats the young grass. A group of Konoha ninjas were talking about this. Let Konoha's sunset blush, you guys. Teikoku Shisui's face also turned red at this time, but he didn't say anything. Back off, I don't want to bully a widow. Imperial Asuma said uninterested. You, ugh, wow. Ziyurahong looked at the familiar face and heard the cruel words. She could no longer hold back her tears and ran away with her big belly. How? Sarutobi was killed by his own son? Ninja World Danzo looked disdainful at this time. That idiot, although he was a bit stupid, he wouldn't have fallen to this extent. The story he wrote was so bad. It's Danzo. You look surprisingly alive and well. Imperial Asuma said strangely. What? What's wrong with me in your world? Ah, you in our world, because you are as stubborn as Sarutobi Hiruzen and prevented the unification of the Empire, I have dealt with you. Imperial Asuma rode. You little brat. Stop scaring me. The Empire and the super robots are nothing but illusions and tricks. If you want to deceive me, you're 100 years too early. I am a ninja who has fought on the battlefield with the first Hokage. Konoha will never succumb to you. Give up this stupid deception. As long as I am here, you can't deceive Konoha. Danzo said disdainfully. Old devil Danzo. Stop pretending. You keep calling me Konoha. It's really disgusting. We all know the shady, disgusting things you do. An angry shout rang out. Danzo couldn't help but look over. Among the Uchiha group, there was a thin man, staring at him with flaming eyes. So it's Uchiha Setsuna, how come you, old ghost, didn't die in these liars' scripts? Humph. But it doesn't matter. I'm not afraid of a mere illusory ghost. Also, I am devoted to Konoha and never do anything that would go against my conscience. Danzo said very proudly. The Empire was instantly furious and wanted to say something. Imperial Sasuke placed his right palm on his shoulder and shook his head gently. The time of judgment has not yet come. Be patient, hateful. The Empire gritted its teeth and turned around. Empire Shisui had a complicated expression and sighed softly. The people of the Uchiha clan in the Empire have learned a lot about the Uchiha clan and Danzo in the ninja world through last night. Among them is the incident in the ninja world where Shisui had his eyes gouged out and jumped into the river. There was also the matter of the Uchiha being ostracized and Danzo doing a great job. Even the death of Hadake Sakumo seems to be related to it. Danzo Shimura in the ninja world is an even more disgusting bastard than Danzo Shimura here. It would be too easy for Zayao Lai to expose such a guy now and kill him. Be patient, there is only 1 month left, and by then the Empire's vanguard will arrive. Then it will be time to judge certain sinners. HMPH. You illusory ghost. You have nothing to say in front of me, right? Tsunade. You are really derelict in your duty as a Hokage. You actually believed in such a boring drama. Danzo said somewhat proudly. Danzo, your ignorance fully makes me understand why the 2nd-generation grandfather and the 3rd-generation old man did not choose you as Hokage. Konoha Tsunade said calmly. Danzo's eyes instantly filled with blood. You damn brat. What do you know? I've devoted my life to Konoha. If it weren't for that bastard Hiruzen's good luck, I would have been the Hokage long ago. Shut up, Danzo. As the Hokage, I order you to step down. Don't get in the way of everyone here. Konoha Tsunade shouted coldly. Danzo was extremely angry. Stupid kid. You're going to regret this. After all, walk away. I made you laugh. Konoha Tsunade smiled and apologized to everyone in the Empire. It's really not easy for you to be a Hokage, my other self. Imperial Tsunade spoke at this time, with a gloating tone in her voice. Page 76. After all, they are all antiques. Konoha Tsunade also laughed. Okay, let's stop chatting here. Tsunade, Kakashi. No matter what your purpose is for coming to the Empire or what you think now, but I only have one hope for you. That is to be a sober and rational person. Now stand down. You have 1 month left to get to know the Empire. During this period, I will give you enough freedom. The 1,000-armed heavenly being on the throne said this and waved his right hand. Everyone suddenly felt dizzy. When I looked around again, I had arrived at a wide square, surrounded by black-clad guards. Another space-time ability. To move so many people at once, Your Majesty's use of space and time is truly amazing. Konoha Tsunade sighed. Of course, Your Majesty is extremely powerful and invincible. The methods you used just now are just one of Your Majesty's most insignificant powers. If you want to know more about His Majesty and the Empire, I can take you there. Imperial Tsunade slowly walked up to Konoha Tsunade and said. He looked down at her while holding up his own breasts. Then he showed a smug smile. HMPH. Then I'll trouble you. Tsunade of Konoha noticed the other party's little action and snorted a little unhappily, but still agreed. She immediately snatched the spacetime communicator from Yakashi's arms and left with Imperial Tsunade. If you don't mind, would you like to come to my house and sit down? Imperial Kakashi brought Imperial Sakumo to Konoha Kakashi and said, Ah, it's an honor. Konoha Kakashi smiled. Would you like to visit my laboratory? There are many interesting little things there. Imperial Orochimaru came to Konoha Orochimaru and licked his tongue. Interesting lil thing? I'm really looking forward to it. Konoha Orochimaru licked his lips and agreed excitedly. Is Kabuto coming too? Orochimaru of the Empire looked at Kabuto of the ninja realm again. My pleasure. Shinobi Kabuto pushed up his glasses. The other Sasuke, do you want to come to my house as a guest? Imperial Fugaku came to Ninja World. Sasuke, Mikoto has already prepared the food at home. Other Sasuke, I've heard about Itachi's situation over there. What that beast did. I will never forgive. I swear to you, I will make him regret it. The Imperial Itachi also walked over and said, Thank you for your hard work, Sasuke. Imperial Shisui said softly. Father Chief Fugaku, Itachi brother Shisui Ninja. Sasuke murmured with an extremely complicated expression. He was so excited that he was speechless for a moment. After a long while, he said, Thank you for your concern, but I want to kill that by myself. With your own hands? Can you do that? Naruto in your world is so weak, I find it hard to believe how strong you can be. Imperial Sasuke also came over at this time and said in a skeptical tone, HMPH. Another me? Since you are so skeptical, why don't you use your body to feel my power? Ninja World Sasuke said in an unhappy tone, his eyes widened and his kaleidoscope spun. 83. Chapter 82. Sasuke of the Ninja World and the Uchiha of the Empire 83. Oh, kaleidoscope, not bad. Imperial Sasuke was a little surprised. You seem to be stronger than Naruto from your world. That guy is just a slacker. Ninja World Sasuke looked disdainful. Good. Good. Sasuke from another world. I used to think that the Uchiha in your world were all trash and that Mangekyo didn't exist at all. I didn't expect that after you betrayed Konoha, you actually awakened on your own. As expected, the Uchiha who only stays in the corrupt system of the ninja village cannot grow and evolve. Imperial Setsuna looked at Ninja World Sasuke with satisfaction. The others also nodded slightly. This made Ninja World Sasuke's eyes twitch. Fortunately, these guys don't know that I am the Mangekyo that evolved through the medicine of Abido in this world, yes, but it's just a Mangekyo. You don't have the qualifications to be arrogant in front of me. Imperial Sasuke said calmly. HMPH. No need to waste time talking nonsense, let's fight. I just happen to want to know how strong the so-called Imperial Capital twins are, said Ninja World Sasuke. But I couldn't help but feel emotional. He knew that he couldn't beat the Empire's Ningsai and Rock Lee, and he probably couldn't beat this world's Sasuke either. However, he wanted to know how big the gap between them was, and make this bastard who dared to look down on him pay a small price. Let the Uchiha of this world recognize your own strength. So, this battle is necessary. Sasuke, it's needless to say Shisu brother, there's also Chief Fugaku and Itachi. You guys should also want to know my strength, right? Said Ninja World Sasuke, interrupting Imperial Shisui. Then let the two of them spar, but it's best to stay away from the Imperial capital. Imperial Fugaku said. Several people turned into afterimages and ran towards the outskirts of the Imperial capital. The others eventually dispersed. On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in a forest at least dozens of kilometers away from the city, the Sasuks and the two worlds stared at each other from 100 meters apart. On the side, the Empire's Fugaku, Shisui, Itachi, Setsuna, and other Uchiha high-ranking officials and elites were watching the two of them. How long do you think Sasuke from another world can last in Sasuke's fold? Asked an Uchiha. How long can you hold out? How can we guess? It all depends on when Sasuke on our side wants to end the battle, right? Although the Sasuke in the other world seems to be fine and has awakened the Mangekyo. But there is still no comparison with the twin stars in the Imperial capital. Let's just hope he can give us a little surprise. Several other Uchiha were also discussing. Imperial Fugaku couldn't help but frown upon hearing this. Just watch the upcoming battle carefully. You guys should be quiet for a while. Yes, Chief, said the Uchiha. What? You don't want to attack first? Ninja World Sasuke stared at the Mangekyo, staring closely at Imperial Sasuke without missing any of his movements. The power of stepping over an ant without killing it is hard to master, especially when you don't know the other party's strength. This do you understand? Imperial Sasuke crossed his arms and tilted his head indifferently. Several Uchiha on the side immediately showed ecstasy. Here it comes. Here it comes. It's spoken. His Majesty's classic quote. Fugaku, Itachi, and Shisui couldn't help but cover their faces. Ninja World Sasuke's forehead veins bulged. Ant? You bastard, you actually compared me to an ant? He was extremely angry and his eyes widened. There! The black flame of Amaterasu ignited on Imperial Sasuke out of nowhere. The space around it is constantly distorted slightly. Oh. Imperial Sasuke remained unmoved, raised his eyebrows and said, Is it the fire of Amaterasu? It seems that no matter which world I am in, I always desire powerful strength from the bottom of my heart. As he spoke, his originally ordinary eyes glared and also transformed into a kaleidoscope. All the black flames attached to his body were immediately dispelled. Kagetsuchi, it looks like we have the same main Jikayo ability, so it's going to be difficult to fight. Then we have to get serious. Susanoo. Ninja World. Sasuke frowned and his eyes widened again. Purple chakra burst out. It transformed into a giant upper body covering his body. Page 77. It's not over yet. Drink. Ninja World. Sasuke shouted again. The giant, with only the upper body filled with chakra and slowly grew legs. He turned into a giant about 20 to 30 meters tall and stood up. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. The me in the other world. See clearly. Even without the Empire's technology, I, Uchiha Sasuke, will not be weaker than you. Drink. Ninja Sasuke roared while being inside the giant's body. The curse mark in the body exploded, black lines spread, and huge flesh wings broke out of the back. On the originally purple shell of Susanoo, black marks appeared in patches, making its power even more astonishing. How is it? This is the Susanoo curse seal form that I developed myself. It is also the strongest form of Susanoo. If you are not armed with spiritual weapons, you will have no chance of winning. Looking down from a high position, Ninja World. Sasuke curled the corners of his mouth and said with great complacency, "Combination of Susanoo and the alien Senjutsu. It is indeed great to be able to achieve this as a person in the ninja world. But the strongest form of Susanoo? That's ridiculous," Imperial Sasuke said with an indifferent and somewhat disdainful expression. HMPH. Stop pretending here. He is just an Uchiha who relies on spiritual weapons. If you have the ability, take this move and give it a try. Ninja World. Sasuke roared in dissatisfaction and stretched out his right arm in the Susanoo curse seal form. A purple battle blade with a black mark condensed, and then he raised it and swung it fiercely towards the Empire Sasuke. Boom! Exclamation! Air blades tens of meters long shattered the earth. In the blink of an eye, he was in front of Imperial Sasuke. Isn't this guy avoiding it? Ninja World. Sasuke's main Jikayo shrank, and looking at the Imperial Sasuke who remained standing without dodging or avoiding, he thought to himself, this guy wants to activate Susanoo to resist. But even Susanoo can't resist my stronger cursed form. Bang! Boom! The air blade approached and exploded. When the smoke is thick, purple chakra shot up into the sky. The huge Susanoo instantly broke through the smoke, and under the shocked gaze of Ninja World. Sasuke, it continued to grow 50 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, 500 meters, 1000 meters. The dark shadows cover the sun. Ninja World. Sasuke was shrouded in darkness. Shock appeared in his eyes and cold sweat dripped down his forehead. So big is this also Susanoo? No, impossible. You seem to have misunderstood something. Pretending? Relying on spiritual weapons? That kind of thing is just a toy to add to the cake. Inside the huge diamond-shaped gem on the forehead of Susanoo, Imperial Sasuke's eyes shone with purple light, and his indifferent voice spread clearly. The true power of the Uchiha will always belong to ourselves. Besides, the fairy form of Susanoo is not used like that. Immortal arts are natural energies that have the effect of greatly enhancing the power of moves. When used on a complete Susanoo, it can cause it to become even more gigantic. When Imperial Sasuke's voice finally fell, the Tengu armor emerged, and its huge wings spread out. In its right hand, a purple battle blade condensed, and with a slight swing, an extremely violent storm uprooted the surrounding trees within 1,000 meters and swept them into the sky. The land in front of Sasuke in the ninja world was even scraped off. His proud Susanoo, curse seal form, which was 20 to 30 meters tall, was blown back several meters by the strong wind. It was like a baby standing in front of an adult. No, not even as good as a baby. At most it was just a little mouse. The contrast between the two is so strong. Senjutsu, complete Susanoo? Complete Susanoo? Ninja World. Sasuke looked up at the giant god in front of him with a shocked expression. Is this still Susanoo? It's simply a monster among monsters. Sasuke. What a fool is this, the first time he faces his other self that he resorts to such tactics. We can't win this fight. Isn't he always like this? He always likes to pretend, but this time, you pretended to be pretty. I really envy him for having such power. The Uchiha nearby looked at it and shook their heads, extremely envious. Susanoo has no limits. When you have the Eternal Eye, you can activate the complete form of Susanoo. When you possess the Rinnegan and practice martial arts and magic to my level, you can then activate the Immortal Technique, complete Susanoo. The voice of Imperial Sasuke came from the sky again. What exactly is the Eternal Eye? I've heard about this from Neji before. As for the Rinnegan, isn't that the Eye of the Six Paths Sage? It exists in myths and legends, and is not real at all. Ninja Sasuke suppressed his shock and asked. The Eternal Eye is an advanced version of the ordinary Mangekyo. It possesses inexhaustible pupil power and can activate the complete form of Susanoo. The Rinnegan and the Six Paths Sage are not myths or legends, but real entities. When the owner of the Uchiha's Eternal Eye obtains the Sage Body, he can open the Samsara Eye. Imperial Sasuke said. It's real. The Rinnegan and the Six Paths Sage are real. Ninja World. Sasuke murmured, somewhat incredulous. Enough of the idle chatter. Come over here and let me see your strength. Imperial Sasuke said. This sentence silenced Sasuke in the ninja world. Come on, let's see your strength. You're already like this, why should I fight you? But the other me is really annoying. This damn bastard. He is 100 times more pretentious than me. Stop looking down on me, you bastard. Ninja Sasuke couldn't stand it anymore, so he controlled Susanoo's curse seal form, jumped up, and stabbed the Senjutsu complete Susanoo's knee with his battle blade, and then he was flung away. Uchiha residence restaurant. A group of Uchiha were enjoying a sumptuous lunch. Shisui of the Empire and Itachi looked at Sasuke of the Ninja Realm, who was eating in silence with a very sour look on his face, with a smile on his face. Shisui, Itachi, why are you two still laughing until now? Is it because you are so happy to see Sasuke from another world? But why is the little Sasuke from another world so angry? Did you bully him? Little Sasuke, tell your auntie that she will teach these two bastards a lesson for you. Imperial Makoto couldn't help but say as she observed everyone. No, Aunt Makoto, why would we bully little Sasuke? It's just I just thought of something interesting. Imperial Shisui wanted to explain, but he didn't know what to say, so Imperial Itachi on the side interrupted. Interesting things? What interesting things? Can you tell it to your aunt? Teikoku Makoto was curious. Shisui's white cat got pregnant, but gave birth to a black cat. What? Makoto was a little dumbfounded. Is this funny? I really don't understand what you young people find funny. She shook her head and looked back at Ninja World Sasuke. Ninja World Sasuke blushed and said nothing. He thought of the last scene where he attacked Imperial Sasuke, was bounced away with a jump stab, and then was lifted up like a chicken, and he felt depressed. I am so good at humiliating people in this world. I am even more annoying than that idiot Naruto. Take these two things, little Sasuke. They can make your Sharingan and physique stronger. On the dining table, Teikoku Makoto took out a blue bottle and a red bottle and said, Ninja World Sasuke took a look and his eyes twitched again. I have taken these two things. Have you taken it? Imperial Sasuke was a little surprised. So your kaleidoscope also relies on these two things to open? Yes, well, it seems I overestimated you. There won't be anyone worth looking forward to in the ninja world. Imperial Sasuke was speechless. Sasuke, don't talk to little Sasuke like that. It is not easy for little Sasuke, who lives in such a dark and backward era, to grow up to where he is now by relying on his own strength. How can you say that about him? Teikoku Makoto said accusingly. Continue to push the potion to Ninja World Sasuke, take it. Although the subsequent effects of Sharingan medicinal drug and divine tree gene medicine will not be as good as the first time, they can still make you stronger. Maybe with Sasuke's talent, you can directly open the Eternal Eye. Ninja Sasuke took it. After that, I will take you to the Imperial Spiritual Medicine Development Bureau to register, and you can receive 2 bottles of medicine every week. Imperial Mikoto added. Thank you, Mikoto Auntie. Ninja World Sasuke said somewhat dryly. Sasuke, you have to take care of little Sasuke more in the future, okay? You can't bully him. You have to teach him how to practice martial arts. Take him to meet more friends. Page 78. Teikoku Mikoto looked at her child. I know. Stop nagging. Imperial Sasuke said impatiently. You kid. Watching the interaction between a group of Uchiha. Ninja World Sasuke couldn't help but reveal a hint of envy in his eyes. If the Uchiha in our world hadn't been destroyed by that bastard Itachi, I would probably be enjoying this kind of life now. Damn Uchiha Itachi. I will kill you with my own hands. Arrive. Imperial Kakashi brought Ninja World Kakashi to the gate of a mansion with tall walls and covering at least several thousand square meters. I am back. Welcome back, Master Kakashi, Master Sakumo. A gentle voice sounded. The door slowly opened. The eyes of Ninja World Kakashi, who was following behind the Imperial Kakashi and his son, twitched wildly. You're not trying to tell me that this is your home? 84. Chapter 83. Kakashi and the Haddock family in the Ninja World. 84. Weird. Imperial Kakashi was a little surprised. I am too rich in this world, right? Ninja World Kakashi said with some envy, thinking of the small apartment he lived in. If I remember correctly, the working ability of ninjas should be very different from that of ordinary people. You are an elite ninja of Konoha, and your ability to make money should not be weak. Can't you live in a house like this? Imperial Kakashi said. Kakashi, the wealth of the ninja village era was in the hands of the nobles. The rewards for ninjas to complete their missions were not much. You should know this, the Empire Shumo said on the side. Sorry, that happened so long ago that I have almost forgotten about it. Forget it, let's not talk about it anymore, let's just go in quickly. Imperial Kakashi put his arm around Ninja World Kakashi's shoulders and walked inside. Ninja World Kakashi walked through the gate and saw neat lawns, beautiful rockery, tall fruit trees, a swimming pool and a beautiful and luxurious villa. There were also some people in servants' uniforms walking around, watering and trimming the flowers and plants. This is really Kakashi in the ninja world couldn't help but cover his forehead. It seems that my life in this world is several times better than that of the daimyo in various countries. How abominable. Living in such a corrupt way, aren't you afraid of falling behind in strength? And also, why were you born in the Empire, while I had to be born in Konoha and suffer that kind of bullying? Why are there no 1,000-armed heavenly beings in our world? Ninja World Kakashi thought, a little depressed. The group quickly entered the villa. After seeing the 2 people sitting at the dining table in the living room, Ninja World Kakashi's expression froze. Father Kakashi, welcome back. Who is this person next to you? Lin spoke gently to everyone. Next to him, there was a young man in white frowning. This new guy looks like Dad. Could he be Grandpa's illegitimate child? Is this my uncle? Huh? Ninja Kakashi was stunned, but immediately reacted. Are you my son from this world? This world? The young man in white frowned. This is me, who I told you about, from another world where the ninja village system still prevails. Imperial Kakashi spoke up at this time, paused and said, these 2 are my wife Haddock Rin and my son Haddock Zedong. So this is Kakashi from another world. Welcome, welcome. Lin immediately smiled, pulled out a chair and made a gesture of invitation. Tusk, a father from another world. He's not that short, but why is he so skinny? And he's dressed like this. Are you trying to be cool? How old is he, and he's still blindfolded? We didn't do such stupid things when we were 10 years old. And why do you look so listless and weak? The scumbag Dong, the son of Imperial Kakashi, complained speechlessly. Exclamation Ninja World Kakashi's face twitched. This little brat. Don't be so rude. Trash Dong. Diggyualin patted her son's shoulder gently and scolded him. Tusk. I'm just telling the truth. He looks so weak. He seems even weaker than me. The Empire is a scumbag. Pen. There was a flash of lightning, and Kakashi in the ninja world only felt a flash before his eyes. Imperial Kakashi appeared behind Jia Dong and punched him in the head. You little brat. How many times have I told you to be polite? I'm not wrong. He looks very weak. This kind of guy would definitely bring shame to our Haddock family in his world. If he doesn't agree with what I said, then come and beat me. Then I will apologize. Jia Dong shouted, covering his head with his hands, looking stubborn. You little bastard. Imperial Kakashi raised his fist. Kakashi of the ninja realm waved his hand and said, Wait. Let me fight him. I also want to see the strength of this brat. This Imperial Kakashi hesitated. Hey, you're quite brave. My dad from another world. Jia Dong grinned. Oh, why is this happening? The food was just prepared no matter what. We have to finish the meal, Diggyualin said. Don't worry, Mom. I will get rid of the dad from the other world soon. The food won't be cold by then. Jia Dong said confidently. Ugh. Brak Kakashi from the ninja world rolled his eyes. The outskirts of the imperial capital. Ninja World Kakashi glanced at the surrounding wasteland and couldn't help but sigh. I didn't expect that there is a space-time ninjutsu array in your residence. This is really convenient. This is nothing. Many imperial martial arts families have this kind of thing, mainly for the convenience of combat and training. After all, martial arts are extremely powerful, and when practiced to a high level, their destructive power is too strong, and the Empire cannot afford to suffer too much. Imperial Kakashi explained. Hey, Dad, get out of the way. I'm going to duel with my father from another world. In the distance, Haddock Scum drew out the short sword from behind his back, pointed it at Ninja World Kakashi and shouted. Upon hearing this, Imperial Kakashi quietly stepped aside and watched with Imperial Sakumo and Lin. Seeing this, Ninja Kakashi pulled out the kunai from his waist bag and pointed it at Jia Dong as well. Ha! Dad from another world. What do you mean? As a member of the Haddock family. Grandpa's son. Where is your Haddock dagger? Or does it mean that the grandfather in your world doesn't know this kind of thing? That's not right. Are you looking down on me? As Haddock Shazadong said this, his eyes became fierce. In the distance, the expressions of Kakashi and Sakumo from the Empire changed. Shiwamao frowned and said, in the ninja world according to previous intelligence, Kakashi should have died when he was 7 years old. At that time, I couldn't have not taught him the Haddock swordsmanship. Maybe he wants to see what Jia Dong is capable of. Imperial Kakashi said uncertainly. As they talked, he stopped talking and looked at the two of them seriously. You little brat, stop talking so much nonsense. If you have the ability, just come and defeat me. Don't worry about what weapon I use. Kakashi rolled his eyes and said reluctantly. Tusk. How dare you look down on me? Haddock Shashadong's expression became more and more fierce. Holding the dagger, he exhaled slowly. Stab it. Next moment, a flash of lightning appeared on his white hair. This is... Ninja World Kakashi frowned. Hutch-I another breath in. Lightning arcs began to flow on Haddock Shashadong's body, and every strand of his hair stood up. Thunder-breathing technique. The third stage. Next is the 8 gates of ninjutsu. Opening gate, resting gate, life gate, injury gate, closing gate, open. With a final roar, Jia Dong's chakra surged all over his body, and the lightning arc made a sharp hissing sound. The airflow from his body even made the corners of Kakashi's clothes flutter. who was dozens of meters away. It's really exaggerated. How could a little kid like him be so strong? Ninja Kakashi sighed and quickly removed his forehead protector, revealing his 3 Magatama Sharingan. HMPH. Sharingan? Then give it a try and see if you can see through my movements. Page 79. The writing falls. Hadake Zedong has turned into a ray of lightning. Left, right, left, right. The lightning flashed continuously, appearing in an instant and then disappearing, flashing back and forth several times. Shinobi Kakashi's eyes kept moving. I can see it. So, I can block it. Until the next moment, Dong came in front of him and swung with a dagger. Ninja World Kakashi's pupils contracted and he raised his kunai to block. The moment the kunai and the short sword came into contact, something surprising happened to Kakashi. The kunai was like a stick. It was cut off evenly. The short sword pointed directly at Ninja World Kakashi's throat. Hey, isn't this all your strength? Dong asked, tilting his head. You won. Ninja World Kakashi was silent for a moment and said bitterly. Huh? Are you kidding? You surrender already? You have the Hadake name, the father from another world, and that's it? Dong said with an unhappy look on his face. The me in the other world. You're careless. Dong's short blade is a special weapon. It is extremely sharp and more suitable for lightning chakra and true kai. When these two energies are injected into it, the sharpness and armor-piercing effects can be multiplied. It is impossible to resist ordinary kunai. Do you want to start over again? Imperial Kakashi flashed and appeared next to Ninja World Kakashi. Forget it. Even if I start over, the result won't change. Your martial arts are too strong. Although I started learning, I was far behind. Although the scumbag Dong is small now, he is still at the level of Cage in the ninja world. I can't beat him. Kakashi of the ninja world admitted defeat very magnanimously. You're giving up already. Boring. The dad in the other world is too weak. Dong put away the dagger and complained. Do you think everyone is as happy as you? Imperial Kakashi punched the scumbag Dong on the head. Before your majesty unified the ninja world, we had no martial arts training. It was impossible for an 11-year-old cage-level warrior to appear at that time. You should thank his majesty the most for being so capable. Thanks, Budo. Instead of complaining about those who have just started learning martial arts being weak. Do you understand? Tusk. Dong curled his lips. Call out. Another breaking sound was heard. Imperial Sakumo also came over and looked at Ninja World Kakashi and said, Where's your white fang sword skills? Have you forgotten them? I forgot about it after not using it for so long. Ninja World Kakashi glanced at Empire Sakumo and said, Are you interested in learning it again? There's also the thunder breathing technique. Imperial Sakumo rode. Huh? Are you willing to teach me, an outsider? Kakashi from the ninja world was a little surprised. Outsider? Is my own son from another world also considered an outsider? If you don't mind, you can call me Godfather, little Kakashi. Imperial Sakumo rode. Ninja World Kakashi didn't say anything, but just looked at Empire Sakumo in silence. After a long while, he said, Thanks, Godfather. After these words came out, Ninja World Kakashi's face looked a little embarrassed, but fortunately it was covered by the mask. Let's go. Imperial Sakumo raised the corner of his mouth and patted Ninja World Kakashi's shoulder. Oh, you acknowledge Grandpa as your godfather now. Then what should I call you? Little Daddy. Dong said. Anything will do. Shinobi Kakashi rolled his eyes. At this time, Kakashi from the Empire also stuffed a paper bag into the hands of Kakashi from the ninja realm and said, This is a gift from me as your big brother. I heard from Yamato that you like it. Ugh. Ninja Kakashi was stunned, lifted a corner of the paper package, and looked at the picture of a man and a woman hugging each other. And the name of the book Intimacy Series Teacher at 18. My face immediately turned red and I quickly closed the paper bag. What did Yamato say to you guys? I've said everything I need to say. Brother, I understand you very well, but the body is the foundation of a warrior's strength, so take it easy. Imperial Kakashi said seriously. Ninja World Kakashi looked up at the sky speechlessly. My reputation is completely ruined. My weakness. It has nothing to do with watching this. Damn it. Ding ding ding. Facial verification successful, retina verification successful, blood verification successful, gene verification successful. Welcome, Professor Orochimaru. In front of the underground metal gate with a cold white light tone full of technology, a cold electronic voice rang out. The door slowly opened. I can finally see another scientific and technological achievement of mine. It's really exciting to think about it. As he said this, Ninja World Orochimaru licked his lips. How amazing will the research results of the other Lord Orochimaru be? Ninja Kai Kabuto pushed his glasses up, his arms trembling, his heart filled with excitement. Haha, then use your eyes to witness it. I believe you will not be disappointed. Imperial Orochimaru said as he stepped into the gate. Ninja World Orochimaru and Kabuto quickly followed. Bang, 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 the doors inside opened one after another. A total of 10 1-meter thick metal doors were all opened. Everything inside was revealed. In the upright nutrient capsules, non-humans wearing breathing masks were soaking in green nutrient solution. These non-humans are all strange in shape. Next to these nutrition cabins, there are people in white coats constantly recording something. They were not surprised at all when they saw Orochimaru from the Empire and the Ninja Realm. They just nodded slightly. Is this a test subject for the curse? Ninja World Orochimaru couldn't help but ask. Cursed test subject? What is that? Imperial Orochimaru asked curiously. Orochimaru from the Ninja World gave the answer. After hearing this, Imperial Orochimaru smiled. I see. Is this a mutant that absorbs natural energy? What an amazing experiment. It's worthy of being another me. If these must be explained, it can be understood this way. However, these biologically modified humans are all created after we customize their genes, so there will not be any unacceptable side effects. Look over there. Imperial Orochimaru pointed at a monster with a wolf's head and a human's body and said, "This is a werewolf." Possessing speed, strength, and recovery capabilities far exceeding those of ordinary humans, these abilities increase exponentially at night. You can see in the dark. Possessing fighting power comparable to that of a Jonin. Amazing. Among my cursed test subjects, only the most outstanding ones have the strength comparable to that of a Jonin. Orochimaru of the Ninja World licked his lips. That's the vampires. Similar to a werewolf, it is not as strong as a werewolf, but it is faster and can suck blood, instantly recovering from all injuries through blood. Its overall strength is stronger than that of a werewolf. It's wonderful. 85. Chapter 84, Visit. Imperial Orochimaru's Laboratory. 85. That's the Rhino Rock Man. It has great strength and defense. It can withstand A-level ninjutsu head-on without taking any damage. It can also chew stones to recover from its injuries. Suitable for multiplayer battles, better than werewolves and vampires. Strength enough to rival an elite Jonin. That's a great demon. He has excellent strength, defense, and speed. He can use some special ninjutsu. His strength is comparable to that of an average Kage. That's an angel. Imperial Orochimaru introduced these biochemical monsters to Ninja World Orochimaru and Kabuto Yakashi. Upon hearing this, the eyes of Orochimaru and Kabuto Yakashi from the Ninja World flashed with brilliance. Great! Great! What a genius creation! The existence of the first level of shadow can actually be mass-produced if these test subjects were placed in the Ninja World. I'm afraid they would cause a terrible disaster. The Ninja World Orochimaru licked his tongue. As expected of Lord Orochimaru from another world, he possesses the same amazing wisdom and creativity. It's amazing. Yakashi Kabuto said tremblingly. Haha, these things are actually nothing. They can only be regarded as appetizers at best. Come, let me show you a real masterpiece. Imperial Orochimaru smiled happily. He continued to lead the two people deeper, through two large iron doors, and came to a room with only a few nutrition cabins. All right, legends, that's it for today. If you're ready for the next chapter, smash that like button and flood the comments right now. Remember, we've got 3 days to prove this story needs to continue. Subscribe so you don't miss the drop, and I'll meet you in the next audiobook.